MX, how's it going, man? How you doing? Okay, so C. Harsh, how's it going? Pretty good, pretty good. Can't complain, can't complain. Shit. Fuck, this is bad. This is genuinely cooked. Okay. C. SU. My Red Rising books finally arrived today. They were supposed to come at the 9th, but whatever. Now we can get. Nice, MX. Good shit. Chris, how's it going, man? So it can't be you then. I don't think that works. The new Avatar movie got leaked? Oh shit. Okay. But then what would it be? Because it can't be an E. Can't be an... It's gotta be a vowel, right? What? Because none of these come after a C. None of these make any sense. In HD too, I'm gonna watch it off stream. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Let me know how it is after you watch it. Maybe I watch it too. Dude, genuinely, what the fuck is this? Dude, it has to be a repeat. Can't be that. Can't be that. What the fuck is this word? Can't be an E here. I don't think LLE makes... I'm far behind on the VODs, I think. Oh, maybe awareness. Good to see you though. How's it going? I don't think you're super far behind because I saw one of your comments on a VOD not too long ago, so I don't think you're that far behind. Let's see. Oh, actually, no, never mind. It has been a bit. Let's get to 432. Where are we? $18 chapters? Unknown! How's it going, man? Oh, I think it has been a bit. Awareness, I think it has been a bit. 18? Okay, listen, I'm gonna try my tits off, okay? I'm gonna try to get to where 432, because I know we missed yesterday, so we gotta try to make up ground. So we're gonna try, okay? I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Okay, just needed a second away from it. Okay, there we go. Mason. Stone Mason. Picturing history. Oh, lance gloves. Just the tip. Is anyone seeing anything? I feel like I can't figure out anything here. Ring, tip, bookmark, lance, list, cookie, history. I'm thinking way style. I'm gonna need that crafting again in the future. Well, you gotta be here, man. You gotta nudge me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you. Cache, cookie, history, bookmark. Oh, nice. That might work. Clever. Clever, harsh. I kept thinking like a literal cookie. It didn't even occur to me to think of like cookies. Bell, ring, tip round. What would that be? Fuck. Styling way. Ring. Tip was, yeah, exactly. I think tip was wrong too. But I don't know what the other one could be. Boxing? Oh. Okay. Okay, the bell, the ring, boxing gloves, around. Awareness! Holy shit, dude! Thank you. You really didn't have to. Holy shit. Thank you. Dude, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. I feel like I asked you this last time too. Are you in the Discord? Because I can't remember if you are. Because if you are, I gotta give you your fucking... position. By the way, I swear to God, I don't give a shit what happens. We are finishing I joined, but I don't use it that much. All the same. What's your thing? And is it just awareness? No, it's not. What is it? Just let me know what your thing is, okay? I'll get you the. Obviously, I know you're not in here much, but all the same. Whether you use it or not is up to you. It's my job to make sure you have what you deserve. By the way, I swear to God, I don't give a shit if the fucking heavens collapse or whatever. We are finishing this fucking volume by Sunday, okay? But seriously, thank you, Awareness. You don't know how much I appreciate. It's been a very expensive month. I'll tell you guys about it tomorrow, okay? It's been a very good month. Don't get me. Obviously, for those that don't know, it was my birthday yesterday. So it was a expensive birthday. Yeah, well, I'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it tomorrow, okay? No, I mentioned this, but no day stream tomorrow. We'll do a night stream. But no day stream tomorrow. I have something I need to do. Thank you, guys. Thank you. A list, pitch, weight. Okay, a pitch, a weight, a style, and a lean. Fucking cringe shit, motherfucker. Has COI gotten better since, like, the Susan? Oh, awareness. It's so much better. I can't even lie to you. This last little... maybe 100 or so chapters, maybe a little more that we've been reading, have genuinely been like fun. Like, I'm genuinely excited to read them, as opposed to like before. Then I was like, oh, like I promised I'd read this shit. Like you guys can probably tell just even in the streams, right? Like, because the streams went from like 5 or 6 chapters to like 7 or 8 or like 11 or 12. Because like I'm genuinely excited to read. It's not like I promised I have to read this bit, so like I'm fucking slogging my way through. No, like I'm genuinely excited. Like I want to know what happens. So it's so much better. I can't even. But thank you everyone for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Thank you. What is this background? Do you mean like this one right here? Oh, I don't know. I found this in the Lord of the Mysteries artwork one. Let me see what... I know it mentioned what it was. I just can't remember. Aw, thanks, Unknown. I appreciate that, buddy. Grizel's Travel. Fuck, you guys probably can't see it, but... this is the photo. Obviously, it's a little cropped, and, you know, I'm blocking some stuff out of shit, too, so... oh, the chapters I haven't read yet, but the dude felt so stuck in one place. Dude, awareness. Okay, so you're a little behind, so I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I have a really strong suspicion, this is like my first theory, that volume 4 is going to be his Gehrman arc, okay? He's going to be like traveling, because we have things we need to do. I don't want to spoil you on anything on what the things are, but I have a lingering suspicion. Gonna be 10 months of membership, so you can like a dirt. Fucking Jesus, really, Pushkar? I gotta ask you. There's only a couple of you, but like that are approaching a year. I think obviously Romero was my first ever member, so I think he's ahead of everyone. But like there's a couple of you I gotta ask you like what you guys want the 1 year plaque to look like, or the 1 year membership thing. You know what I'm talking about, the thing next to your name. Who you want that to be, because you guys can decide obviously, because there's only a couple of you that are like that far ahead. You guys can obviously decide. Okay, one chance, one opportunity. Eminem. Sorry. Okay. Mason? Okay, if I think of Mason, I think like stonemason. Is there anything else that you can think of? Because like one of them is always like something missing a thing, or something with a thing added at the end, right? Names with the first letter changed. Jason, Gene, Mitch, I don't know. Does this make any sense? Am I just being fucking schizoid? Do you guys see what I'm coming? Do you see where I'm going? Am I just being schizoid? I don't know. Think you're reaching? Stop! No, there's a booking way. Hold on, I gotta turn my fan on. It's hot as piss in here. List pitch. Fuck. No, but here. But imagine if that way. J. Dude, imagine if this is the thing, though. Imagine. Do we try it? Do we try it? Fuck! Dude, that would have been so good. Oh, freelance, Freemason, freestyle, freeway. Fuck. Dude, imagine if that was... If I pulled that out of my ass, that would have been so good. What? That would have been so cool, though. I agree that was reaching. I'm not denying you, but I'm just saying, like, if that was, that would have been so good. Lay... Sleep... No. Lay down, put, down below glass, roof, window, okay, foundation, roof below, apartment. How does it feel to be old now, Wiz? Not great, Uth. I'm not gonna lie to you. Not great. I woke up this morning and my fucking wall. That's actually obvious. Thank you. I woke up this morning with a random backache, so I get it. This shit is whack. I am kidding, to be fucking clear, before anyone accuses me of some shit. Floor. Hey, nice, harsh, nice. I really thought foundation would do it, but apparently fucking not. 8001. Yep. The big 01, you know. Let's do cuddle and then we can do chest. I don't know if I like cuddle because it's so simple. What do you know about Shadow Slave? I know that basically everyone in my entire community hates it. How's that? Why is your stream capped at 720? Is it? Stop. Oh, fucking cringe shit, dude. I just realized. I think it's because I reset my OBS because I reset my computer, right? I think I just forgot to change the setting. Fuck. Sorry, boys. Output. 6,000 kbps is fine. That shouldn't be the issue. Fuck, sorry boys. Yeah, its output is scaled down to 1270. I'm sorry. It's taking the information from me at 1080, but then it's only outputting it at 720. I'm sorry. I didn't even. Fuck. Do you guys want me to end stream to fix that, or do you want me to just change that for next for the future? I'm like genuinely sorry. It didn't even register that it would fucking do that. Okay, this is too much. This is closer. I think we do this, right? Let's try this. In regards to Shadow Slave, it's better to binge read it than read it daily or weekly. The chapters are hella short, and G3 tends to put in filler chapters to meet the quota. Fix it next stream. Okay. Is this game based on the German show Oh, maybe. I don't know. But I have seen like clips of that show where they like cut a pretzel in half or whatever. It's better not to read it. You see what I mean? I feel like most people in the community just hate that shit. Again, I know nothing about it. I don't want to make any judgments on if it's good or bad. I don't claim to. I just know, like, everyone I ask, like, hey, Shadow Save, they're like, don't you fucking dare. Here, checkmate. Oh my god. Here. Oh, this is quiet. That's fine. I dropped off at like 1500. Peaked. I know, dude. There's like that German game. I feel like any Japanese fucking game show that I watch is like the most wild. Like, have you guys seen that clip? Japanese game show. Tease. Like, obviously, again, I want to be clear. I'm sure this is not exactly what it looks like or whatever. I just don't know. But like this shit. Okay, no one fucking judge me. I found this on fucking Facebook. Okay, I don't have Facebook, but this is the first. I saw it on Instagram, but this is where I found it right now. Okay, so don't judge me. Like, they have to try and, like, what the fuck is even this show? They have to try and, like, serve tea or some shit in a house that's at, like, a 45-degree angle. Like, what the fuck is... Like, what the fuck is even this? You haven't seen the other? I'm sure there's like a... I'm sure there's a ton I haven't seen. Oh, this is better than this. Here he just takes... Overcooked. It is the queen, but where does the queen go? Shadow! How's it going, man? Oh, fucking Christ, just give me the fucking What? Why is this better? Oh, nice. That is better. In fairness, better. Oh, I'm white, sorry. But I've read so many chapters, I might as well finish. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? It becomes sort of like a... It's a sunk cost fallacy, where you're just like, I'm already invested in this bitch. We're seeing this bitch through. Shadow was yesterday, but thank you all the same. Here. Yeah, I think that works. Here. It's whenever I say it is. Goddamn, right? Here. Oh, here. Now he loses queen. Yeah. Here. Fuck. Stupid bitch. position. Checkmate. What? He takes, I take. Well, we're laughing. Okay, what's the alternative here? Oh, here. 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 Made. Oh, clever. Clever. Here. Damn, was you missed my 2-day long message with you playing chess? I can't ask you to go back and read them. What? My 2 long messages? Oh, I will. Okay, I'll check it out after. Don't worry. Other rook. Can't push because then he just takes. So what do I do here? Here. Oh yeah. Fuck no! Why was that wrong? Am I dumb? Can't take. There's 50 degrees in I know, it's hot as piss. I mean, it's not that hot here. But okay, hold on. Let me lock in. Okay, wait. Here. What is that? I have to try something. What am I gonna cringe? Okay, what were your messages? Hold on. Okay, I joined a Shadow Slave TRPG thing, and there's this analogy for what happened to me using LTM rules. Imagine you have the first session as a non-beyonder and you get your potion finally. Then when you drink it, you have to go into your mind, do a maze room. What the fuck? Followed by a puzzle room and then an actual chess room where you have to play chess and win or you die. Okay. Oh, did you die? Okay, let's get started. Kami's not here, but he was always a bum anyway. He's watch him be here lurking. Oh, it's 50 oh, sorry. 50 degrees Fahrenheit. Fuck. Sorry. What is that in Celsius? Let's find it. It's like some divide by 2 plus 14 shit or something. Oh, it's 10 degrees Celsius. There is like a mathematical formula to it to do the conversion, but I always forget it. I learned the formula. Yeah, exactly. Like, I know the formula, or I know there is a formula. I don't remember it. Let me be clear. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to where I need to be. Give me 1 second. The sinners complain first. That we do. Next week's gonna be in the 80s. Nice, nice. Celsius is so much better than Fahrenheit. I know. What, do the cards disappear? Anyway? Oh, what the fuck? Wait, where did the cards go? What the fuck? The fuck you mean? Oh, what the fuck was that? I ate the cards, yes. Quartier de la Cathédrale Commemorative. Lumina took the lead to explain the origins of the Earthblood ore. While I was staying at the motel, I crossed paths with a man named Flameng, a lunatic who had a tragic encounter with a Mosuri ghost, leading to the deaths of his family. Bushcar, I got it back faster than you could fucking ever even figure out what the issue was, okay? Shut the fuck up. Occasionally, he regained lucidity. We drank together a few times. One day, he hanged himself. His belongings, including the Earthblood ore, ended up with the police. They said they were to hand them over to the surviving relatives, but they refused to accept them. Eventually, they asked me to retrieve them, including the Earthblood ore. I knew that lunatic and had drinks with him, so I didn't throw away the mineral and placed it in an iron cabinet in my safe house. Lumin spoke the truth, not a single word being false. He only concealed the fact that he helped Flameng escape the Mosuri ghost. Martin, his eyes flashing with wisdom, said, "Where is your safe house?" "It is the leftmost room on the 3rd floor of the 19 Rue de Bleu Blanche." "No wonder you frequent that place so much, not just because of Jenna." "Boss, are you hinting at me not visiting Franca too often? Are you implying that you're aware?" Lumin grumbled. "Will this pose a problem for the mob? There may be an official faction hidden behind the Cave Association," Lumin asked. Martin gave a slight nod and turned his attention to Christo. "If you want to join the association, you can, but ensure it doesn't interfere with our operations." "Yes, boss," Christo nodded. Following Martin's instructions, he departed from the study. Martin smiled and consoled the official member of the Iron and Blood Cross Order, a subtle message urging Lumin to remain in the market district and continue overseeing the motel. Simultaneously, he sneered. He felt the keen irrationality of Martin's plans. Transitioning control to another Beyonder to oversee everything, allowing Lumin to slip into the shadows, was a straightforward task for the mob boss. There was no downside to this. Even though he couldn't afford to mistreat Lumin, a subordinate on an important mission, he could compensate him by continuing to share the profits of the dance hall and other businesses. He couldn't risk keeping an official member who had already attracted suspicion in his current location. While Lumin retreated into the shadows may make him appear more suspicious, potentially putting the mob in the crosshairs, Martin had seen such challenges numerous times before. Sensing the CO's suspicion, Lumin aimed to use the association to keep teasing him. His accounts and explanation were entirely truthful. Normally, Martin would believe him, but the issue was too many unusual events that had occurred too frequently. The detailed reasons were no longer enough to hide the abnormality. With this in mind, Lumin's determination to kill surged. He stared at Martin, positioned by the floor-to-ceiling windows, estimating the distance between them. At such a close range, if he were to employ the spell of Harumph, Martin, who hadn't yet reached sequence 4, lacking a mystical item to defend against such abilities, would quickly be he'd be able to quickly subdue the boss of the mob and eliminate him. The current situation resembled that of two ordinary individuals without beyonder powers standing within 5-meter radius. One with a high social status and excelled in combat, while the other had low status and lacked physical strength. But they both concealed a revolver and exceptional marksmanship. Within 5 meters, regardless of the ordinary person's status or combat skills, they would succumb to a single shot. Dude, Lumin's getting bold as fuck. He's like, damn, did I just fucking kill him? What the fuck is going on here? What? Let's try this now. He had gained valuable insight from his advancement to Pyromaniac. He didn't want to go through the nerve-wracking process of searching for each Conspirer potion ingredient after digesting the potion. His goal was to gather the Conspirer ingredients in advance while continuing to digest the remaining Pyromaniac potion. Lumina asked, CO, I wish to purchase the Conspirer potion formula from the order. Do you have enough cash for that? The potion formula can command prices between 70 and 80,000 Vril d'Or at most gatherings, if not more. It's unlike pyromaniacs who are constantly perishing as others advance. Conspirers understand the self-importance of preservation. They've become more cautious about sharing their sequences. In Trier, the most common potions available were in sequence 9 through 7 of the Hunter pathway. If you can unearth even a portion of the Sauron family's declined secret, I'll reward you with the potion formula. It doesn't have to be the whole story, just a piece will do. If you're eager to advance and don't wish to wait, as an official member, you can have the privilege of purchasing it at a discounted price of 60,000. No problem, I'll bring you the cash tomorrow. You really have 60,000? Martin chuckled. In total, he had received 50,000 Vril d'Or in banknotes and gold, worth 30,000. After repaying Frankus 25, he had 55,000 left. Combined with the original 1,000 gold, 1,000 banknotes, and 4,000 Vril d'Or, he had 61,000 in liquid assets. Saw the ball unique, Martin repeated. You really managed to retrieve the debt from the dance hall? Yes, Lumion said, his demeanor honest and open. The members of the mob were more or less aware that he had helped Fitz collect his debt. Lumion couldn't keep Martin in the dark, so he decided to disclose it directly to confuse the situation and divert it from his suspicion. Have you never heard of issues regarding Saw the Ball Unique? He asked. I have, Lumion replied with a smile. If he had a monocle, he might have playfully inserted it into his right eye socket at that moment, savoring Martin's intriguing expressions. Oh, dude, this is so good. This is so good. This is like the thing that climbed it to thing, right? It's the thing that climbed it to Sauron, Einhorn, and Medici. But he put it on the left Michael because he's like, bro, if I put it on the right one, he might just fucking murder me. Wait, you don't like the music? Fine, God, well, change it, man. Jeez, you just gotta ask, my good sir. Your wish is my command. It was a Witcher 3 music, if you were curious. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Bro, Bullseye, why do you only do this when fucking Mad shows up? What the fuck is this? After accepting the commission, I conducted a thorough investigation of the dance hall and realized it wasn't as simple as he realized. Holy fucking shit, you're kidding. Both of you? Really? It had a mysterious background and posed a significant danger, so I initially decided to abandon it. However, one day, while trailing an adversary, I noticed something unusual. One of the guards had inexplicably vanished, and upstairs, behind a window, their boss appeared to have lost his spirits. I saw this as an opportunity and made an attempt to collect the debt. To my surprise, it worked out. CO, are there any other hidden dangers I should be aware of? Not at the moment, just keep an eye out for future anomalies. CO, something doesn't quite add up. Why have there been so many events swirling around me lately? Some I initiated, while others just seem to find their way to me. Am I truly just a harbinger of trouble? Or has my fate been to rush around things and handle things, leaving me constantly busy and weary? The main persona has used a new hairstyle from the software today. But no, my hair's looked relatively like this for the last little bit. My hair's just about long enough to be able to put in a, you know, to be able to tie back. It's so close now. Music's a bit loud. Thanks, Chris. Perhaps this is the destiny that every hunter is bound to face, Martin said. After Lumina departed, Martin shifted his gaze to the side. A hidden door creaked open and Supervisor Olsen emerged. How is it? Martin asked. It's natural for him to be discontent with the arrangements. His loyalty isn't firmly established yet. He won't be able to join your team for the time being. The calamity on him is more suspicious than any of us, Martin said. Is it possible that he's more compatible? Let's observe and wait. More compatible? That makes me think they have something important, like important as fuck for the hunter pathway. And they're like maybe, you know, they need a certain something to enter the underground trier, and maybe that little something is part of why they're looking into the Sauron family. Does that make any sense? Meanwhile, as Lumina returned to the market district, Franca sat at the Tricardo Red House. Her gaze fell upon Brown Sauron. When will you folks complete the audit? Which ball do you love the most? Wait, hold on. We have three of you fucks here today? Hold on. What? We have Bald Unk Wiz, Bald Chad Wiz, and Bald Fossil Wiz. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is going on here? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing here, guys? What the fuck is this? I love all of you equally, okay? We have identified a suspected member of the Bliss Society, Brown Sauron said. Oh, for fuck's sakes, Mad, no. You're quite efficient. After receiving the warning, you swiftly unearthed the problem and found clues. Instead of confirming yourself, you're informing me. No wonder you didn't respond when I inquired about the audit completion date. Is it just a suspicion? Frank asked. She was prompting the other party to provide more details. Brown Sauron ran her finger through her long hair. After learning from you that the Bliss Society interacts with the participants, I observed my friends and noticed two members who were unusual. One of them fell in love with a man once again and entered a romantic relationship. Consequently, she started declining participation. The other encountered a new woman and succumbed to her advances, leading to the feelings of guilt for betraying us. Who do you suspect are the members? That woman, Brown Sauron pointed. She took the initiative to ask about the orgies and reassured Adana that there was no need to feel guilty, claiming that everyone has the right to control their bodies and freely indulge in their desires. She also stated that only deities and churches that genuinely embrace free will are worth following. True, the hallmark of the Mother Tree of Desire's believers. The core members of the Bliss Society truly excel as actors. Their acting skills are remarkable. I just borrowed whatever your mom had. For a demoness of pleasure, this approach proved highly effective. If the surrounding humans... sorry, give me 2 minutes. I'm just getting a call, guys. I'll be right here. Just give me 2 seconds, okay? Okay, sorry. However, Franca could discern that Brown Sauron was possessive and didn't want her girlfriends to engage with other humans. That certainly resembles the Bliss Society, Franca remarked. As for the other one, the lover is primarily concerned with money, houses, banquets, vacations, and other luxury items. Quite evident that he's a male courtesan. They understand women quite well. What do you plan to do? Franca asked. I've encountered him before, and I can tell he harbors an unusual desire for me. I intend to teach him a lesson, immersing him in pleasure without granting him true gratification. What the fuck? Why the fuck am I even reading this? Holy piss. Once his mind and body are under my control, I'll discard of him. Well, Franca raised an eyebrow, finding a rare target for mockery. Browns glanced at her mockingly and retorted, based on what I've discovered and confirmed, you have 2 male lovers. One is mature and the other young. What right do you have to mock me? I'm merely planning to offer that man some pleasure without engaging in actual intimacy. Her implication was clear. Half of my reputation has been tarnished by CL. Franca didn't lose her composure over the humiliation and maintained a smile. I've already become a woman. How can I not explore something entirely different from my previous existence? If you don't experiment now, you may never have the chance. Don't you desire to return to your original form? She subtly hinted at her knowledge of mysticism, paving the way for her revealing her true motives. Browns was left momentarily speechless. Life is confined to just a few decades, Franca continued. Why confine yourself to such a limited scope? The average Frenchman. As long as you avoid indulgence and obsessions and always remain true to yourself, you're merely experiencing the present moment. At this moment, Franca had an epiphany. Pleasure wasn't just something to offer others, it was also meant for oneself. My first acting principle. No wonder my digestion hasn't slowed down recently. It's even been considered pretty fast. How can being coy be considered pleasure? Browns fell silent before saying your mindset surpasses my expectations, but with this, it will be very, very challenging for you to perform a ritual, advance to affliction, or experience pain and inflict it. I'm currently focused on the moment right now. I will deal with affliction when the time comes, Franca said. The digestion process could take months, or even half a year, or even longer to complete. What's the point of worrying right now? Mad, no, stop. Oh, which one of you chuckle fucks sent this to him? What the fuck is your problem? God damn it. Holy shit. What the fuck, guys? What the fuck? Holy shit, guys. Browns decided not to delve deeper into personal philosophy and steer the conversation back. Adana encountered the suspected Bliss Society member at the art exhibition. She goes by the name Teresa and comes from a former noble family. I've concluded some investigations. Her identity and names are real, but they don't belong to her. In other words, there is a real art dealer named Teresa. She is impersonating her and has altered her appearance to make herself more appealing. This aligns with the characteristic of an actor, as you mentioned. I attempted to tail her, but was too cautious and lost her. Adana has a date tonight. Can we trust her? Frank asked. Yes. Then, will she exhibit any unusual behavior during her date with Teresa tonight? She is dealing with an actor. Perhaps she needs a psychiatrist or even more powerful beyonder of the spectator pathway to plant a cue or hypnotize her. This will help her maintain her normal state and prevent Teresa from becoming suspicious. If you can't find one in a hurry, I can introduce someone, but it will come at a cost. Brown's expression softened. You're more experienced than me. Is that psychiatrist also a man? Yes. What kind of image do you have of me, Franca thought. The two of them refrained from discussing which side would handle the subsequent questions after identifying the fake Teresa. At 7 p.m. in Quartier de la Maison d'Opera, just outside the Delon Music Hall, Franca and Lumian, both dressed in light-colored pants, walked to the entrance, discreetly holding each other's arms. They'd used light to alter their appearances and height, ensuring they wouldn't be recognized. Their target was a woman entering the concert hall. Among them, Adana, a participant in the Red House female orgies, had long, light yellow hair with thin curly bangs. Her face powdered, her eyes light blue and her nose perky, making her quite attractive. This woman, suspected to be a member of the Bliss Society, had somewhat stiff facial features, lacking softness but exuding a strange charm. Inside the small concert hall, Lumin and Franca found their seats and they swiftly locked onto Teresa and Adana's location. It was a pity that despite her claim of loving women, Franca's limited experience mainly revolved around teasing Martin's other lovers. Be careful, Lumian warned. For a Triran, this attitude is normal. Look around you. Aren't others openly watching as well? Franca responded. Lumian snorted and didn't push any further. What does a perky nose look like? Let me show you. Their immediate objective was observation, not tailing. It was crucial to assess the target's situation before taking action. Lumin's primary goal was to gather information about Teresa's probable sequence. If she happened to be a Sequence 7 actor or Sequence 6 recipient, Lumin was confident in executing a successful surprise attack. But any higher than that, the effectiveness of the spell of Harumph might be questionable. Although Franca had suggested using magic mirror divination, Lumin still wanted to witness it firsthand. The desires of a corresponding sequence of the Mother Tree of Desire pathway couldn't easily be concealed. Do you guys want to know something really cool? I don't know if we can keep this pace up, but right now, we're for the last 2 chapters, we've been doing a chapter every 10 minutes. If we can keep that pace, we can actually do, we can get to, wherever Chris wanted. Again, I don't know if I can, I want to be clear. But the current pace is kind of chilling. Yeah, 432, thank you. It's still 15 more chapters from here, but 15 chapters at this pace is, what, 2.5 hours? I don't mind going for 3 hours today. I don't, because obviously we skipped yesterday, which was not intended, but it is what it is. The concert began as scheduled, and Teresa and Aldina separated, completely immersed in the orchestra's performance. Franca withdrew her gaze with regret and closed her eyes, savoring a symphony that invoked the image of moonlight glistening on a tranquil lake. Lumin had received no formal education in this domain, so his knowledge of music was quite limited. Firstly, based on Aurora's occasional humming. Secondly, songs from the old tavern. And lastly, the psalms from the eternal blazing sun's mass. It was a serene night, adorned with a canopy of stars. Lumin wasn't entirely captivated by music. From the corner of his eyes, he scrutinized the lady impersonating Teresa, carefully observing. The impostor, Teresa, appeared highly emotional, her demeanor shifting from sorrowful during the lyrical passages to exuberant during the ensemble. Lumin pondered whether she had an exceptional affinity for music or if she harbored a strong desire to perform and convey. If it was the latter, Lumin could tentatively conclude that she was a Sequence 7 actor. However, there may be still more profound influences compared to ordinary individuals. The final movement is titled The Girl Under the Moon. I'd like to invite the most beautiful lady here onto the stage. Franca lowered her head. She had no desire to be chosen. That would embarrass her. Nonetheless, she wasn't overly concerned. Having altered her appearance and height, she could only be considered ordinary and mildly charming. Such requests were not uncommon in Trier, and several women in the audience were eager to step forth. To them, being chosen would symbolize a significant acknowledgement of their appearance. Lumin's gaze swept over the attendees, eventually settling on Aldina and the impostor Teresa. The former seemed visibly excited. On the other hand, the latter exhibited abnormal tension. Upon witnessing these reactions, Lumin couldn't help but smirk slightly. The desire for recognition was the fundamental desire of Sequence 6 recipient. The invitation to bring forth the most beautiful lady wasn't a mere coincidence, Lumin thought. Lumin had sponsored it himself. Oh, by the way, I'm not sure if anyone else is... I just want to play Minecraft again. I'm just bored. So after stream, I'm going to start a server. I'm too fucking lazy, so I'm not going to bother fucking doing like a whole bunch of shit. So I'm just going to make a server from the Discord. That way it'll be like a decently boosted server. We can just do like fucking, I don't know, we can just do like a pro plan or some shit. Like fucking chilling. If anyone else wants to join, let me know. But I'm just bored and I just want to play Minecraft again, so... Sorry, back to reading. Ultimately, he had succeeded in convincing the conductor, not only because he had used Franca's 1,000-roll door, but Lumin had also provided compelling reasoning. It was a romantic gesture for a certain lady. Romantic gestures had a certain place in the hearts of Trier artists. Through this event, Lumin sought to detect whether the fake Teresa harbored any exceptional desires. A skilled hunter could simply wait for opportunities to arise. They had to know how to create them. Of course, the precondition was having sufficient intel, or planning with precision or avoiding easy detection would be impossible. In the Amon culture, everyone kept running away from me though. Were you trying to parasitize them, Mad? I hate to ask the obvious. No, we've had like several I think this would be our 3rd or 4th server. We had like a vanilla one, then we did a modded one, then we did a really, really modded one. And then this would probably be the 4th one, I think. Such extraordinary beauty was rare. The woman, with her bright grey eyes and neatly tied black hair, gracefully approached the orchestra. "How should I address you?" the conductor said. "Clarice," the woman said. Franca gazed at Clarice with admiration, finding her exceptionally captivating. After the concert concluded, Lumin and Franca decided not to tail them, instead heading straight to room 502 on Rue Menier in the Square District, a rented apartment that had temporarily cleared out by paying. Across the way, in room 401 was Adina's chosen rendezvous point. Tonight, she would return to that room with the fake Teresa. Unknown. Don't even fucking ask. Okay, I don't even want to think about it. Before long, the window of room 401 illuminated. Immediately after, Lumin witnessed the passionate embrace between the fake Teresa and Adina. "Quite focused," Lumin teased. "Be prepared," Lumin whispered to Franca, making sure that the fake Teresa's attention was on her companions. Her primary mission was to watch for any unexpected developments. Without hesitation, Lumin activated a black mark on his shoulder. A faint light shimmered from beneath his clothing and he vanished. Across the street, Adina and the impostor Teresa wrestled with the curtains. Lumin's form materialized suddenly, 2 meters behind the fake Teresa. Adina's eyes narrowed and her pupils dilated. She couldn't fathom where the man appeared from. For a moment, it seemed like she was struck in trapped in a surreal dream. The disjunction between her physical sense and her mind bewildered her. Almost simultaneously, Lumin let out a heavy harumph. 2 beams of light shot from his nose, targeting the fake Teresa and Adina. In unison, the women closed their eyes and slumped into unconsciousness. Lumin caught the fake Teresa before she could fall, and then raised his right palm and delivered a swift strike behind her ear. A mystical coma combined with a physical one. He said, "Nah. You're gonna be knocked out squared." He squatted beside the woman he suspected to be a recipient and began searching her. After familiarizing himself with the mystical drugs commonly used by the Bliss Society, Lumina located a canister of sedatives, unscrewed the cap, and brought it to the fake Teresa's nose, allowing her to exhale its contents for more than 10 seconds. You're knocked out cubed. What the fuck is he doing to this poor woman? Mystical coma, chemical coma, physical coma. What the fuck are we doing here? Only then did Lumion breathe a sigh of relief. He stowed away the sedative, no longer concerned that Teresa would suddenly wake up. Unknown, don't do it. You're better than this. You're better than this. Don't listen to them, okay? Be better. Buck 'em. He was informing Franca that the operation had been successful, the target was under control, and she could join him now. After drawing the curtains shut, Lumion turned his attention to Teresa. Intel is crucial. Without a rough understanding of the names and characteristics, along with the knowledge of the corresponding desires and states, Lumion wouldn't have taken such a risk. As for the Contractee 3's ability, if it weren't carefully chosen and harmonized, they could easily be defeated by Sequence 9 Hunter, much like the Mouth Orifice monster in Cordu. Even with the Spirit World Traversal and the Spell of Harumph, Lumion might stand a chance against some Sequence 5s. But it would be a formidable challenge to sustain such things. As Lumion waited for Franca to join, Brown Sauron remained hidden in the shadows. She could already discern the sounds of Adena and fake Teresa returning to the apartment. The situation tormented her. She felt a deep sense of injustice and pain. Despite her understanding that this was a carefully planned trap and that her lover and rival had been intimate multiple times, she felt an overwhelming sense of worry and anxiety. Observing Franca and her young lover concealed in the apartment, Sauron couldn't help but mutter, "Why haven't they launched their attack yet?" Unknown. No. You can't do this to me. Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I'm ruined. I have nothing left except Spider-Man.
Chris, we need to ask the eternal blazing sun for the fucking holy light of the sun to fucking clean this place up again. Amon has too much power. You see, this is all Mad's fault, okay? What was this motherfucker's Discord name when it existed? The Amon cult? And now everyone's corrupted? Now that this motherfucker shows up? Coincidence? You think I should take that as a little coinky dink? Is that what you fucking think? I see through you, motherfucker. Guys, you don't understand what he's doing to you. You must fight back. This is all his plan. You can't let him win. Franca ended her concealment and opened the door to Adena's apartment. The first thing she saw was Lumion, crouched beside Adena, wiping her face with a towel. What are you doing? I've had some thought, Lumion smirked. Actors can impersonate anyone. Once the imposter Teresa establishes an intimate relationship with Adena, she can control this companion and impersonate her. to infiltrate the cafe's orgies, following Adana and everyone who is familiar with to convey the Bliss Society's philosophy and hidden faith. Perhaps the real Adana is hidden in a corner here in the form of a corpse. Not a bad story. I'll share it with Jenna later. After muttering, she closed the door behind and approached Lumion. Sauron is likely a demoness of pleasure. She can recognize the authenticity of her female companion. Furthermore, she interrogated Adana and knows the abilities of an actor. Based on your description, I don't fully distrust her. But I don't trust her either. She clearly has less experience in the domain than you. However, since she has the demoness sect backing her, and the confirmation has been made, the interrogation results are still credible. Lumion didn't spare Adana through another glance. Dude, I am genuinely kind of sad Kami isn't here today, because he would bring these chuckle fucks down, okay? He's the only one who can help here. He gestured to the fake Teresa, who had been hit with a triple dose of unconsciousness. He returned to Franca and said, use magic mirror divination to confirm if she is a core member of the Bliss Society. Considering the fake Teresa possessed a unique concoction of the Bliss Society's truth serum, she was undoubtedly connected, but it was uncertain if she was a core member. Next door to Adana's apartment, Sauron continued to monitor the commotion. Adana and the fake Teresa planned to chat for a while and have some red wine. Though it isn't overly passionate, it holds a romantic ambiance, Sauron thought, mentally urging Franca and her lover to begin. What the fuck is happening here? Are they in the wrong room? Unknown! Holy shit, dude! Thank you! Holy shit, thank you! Can we... Is it too much to ask to... Is it too much to ask to change your profile pic? Is that bad time? Am I pushing too much right now? Maybe we do it later? Maybe? Meow? Hear me out. Maybe. No, seriously, thank you, dude. Seriously. Holy shit, that's... I really appreciate that, dude. Thank you so much. If you can give a good profile pic, I will join your side. Bro, who was your profile pic before? Fucking go back to the... Wait, was your shit just a black fucking square? What the fuck was your previous one? It was mostly black, but there was something there. Bro, you have like any character you can choose from. There's so much to choose from. You can choose... Was it a black square? Ain't no fucking way. Is that true? I know it was mostly black, but I think it was just a black square. Pushkar, no you didn't. What are you doing to me, bro? What the fuck? What the fuck, guys? What the fuck? I thought you just sent him the one. You fucking just... Ain't no fucking way. In the living room of Adana's apartment, Franca raised her right palm and created a crystalline icicle and pierced Teresa's head. The fake Teresa instinctively pulled back her arm but hadn't broken through the coma. Franca then smeared the blood on a mirror, intending to use it as a medium and sacrifice to ask an entity from an underworld, hoping to gain identification of spirits. Eve, how's it going? I'm presuming you're mostly a VOD watcher because I don't know if I've seen you in stream. I don't know, maybe you only popped up like once or popped in once or twice. Because I don't recall your name. The shadow that lingers in the underworld, the friendly creature that can be communicated with, the unique eye that never dies. The surface of the bloodstained mirror began emitting a dark green hue. Is the owner of the blood Teresa, the art dealer? Franca asked. No. Franca posed a second question. Is the owner of the blood a core member of Trier's Bliss Society? Yes. Franca refrained from asking any more, as the entity only answered 2 questions at a time. She watched as a pale white aqueous light receded, and the blood on the mirror's surface strangely seeped in and disappeared. Turning to Lumina, Franca reported she's a core member of the Bliss Society. I'm rarely on streams. Oh, okay, makes sense. Lumina didn't let out a soft sigh and said, unfortunately, I don't know how to perform a lobotomy. Anthony Reed isn't a hypnotist yet, so we can only channel the spirit directly. Using the truth serum didn't guarantee that Teresa wouldn't resist when she woke up. Given her abilities and faith, a fierce battle would inevitably happen. As Lumina spoke, he crouched down, his palms ablaze with flames. The flames intertwined and converged. Gently pressing his right palm against Teresa's body, the fireball vanished into the air. A muffled explosion erupted within Teresa's body. She trembled before life left her. Franca had been busy preparing the magic mirror spirit channeling spell. While she could forcibly channel the spirit while Teresa was unconscious, it wasn't a safe option. It could lead to unnecessary trouble for her mind and spirit. Next door to Dana's apartment, Sauron sensed a subtle fluctuation. Powers have been used. Has it begun? She wondered if the imposter Teresa had initiated the powers of the Mother Tree of Desire to flirt, or if Franca Rowland and her lover had already infiltrated the target location. Without hesitation, Sauron, dressed in a black hunting suit, pushed open the window and crawled out, clinging to the outer walls and approaching Dana's apartment slowly. Franca completed the magic mirror spirit channeling spell. What is your name? Franca asked. Beatrice Incourt. What is your true identity? I run a winery. It's from my deceased husband. Are you a core member of the Bliss Society? Yes. Do you know Lumion Lee or C.L. Dubois? I don't know. I don't know. Lumion raised his eyebrows. None of the core members knew of Susanna's plan? Why did Susanna Matisse go to the market district before her death? She wanted to awaken the great divine tree and allow its roots to enter the fourth epoch Trier, allowing its crown to reach the kingdom of the false gods. Did she say what the awakening process was? Franca pressed. She didn't, Beatrice replied. They really didn't know that Susanna wanted to capture me and sacrifice me to the Mother Tree of Desire? Franca understood. Mr. Loki! Holy shit, how's it going? I'm not going to say long time no see because I know I saw you a couple of days ago, but overall, still, how's it going? I am very much still reading this murder mystery, yep. Maipu Mayer was the former manager of the theater, where's Maipu Mayer? Franca asked. Maipu Mayer was the former manager of the theater. I am not sure. He is a man, and we despise and keep a distance from him. Lumina was enlightened and understood. Regarding the Tree of Shadow, Susanna Matisse, who had become an evil spirit, was extreme in her choices and actions. She didn't inform the other core members about the plan or progress. Only her direct subordinates knew. After Susanna and Charlotte's death, Maipu Mayer, who relied on the former to become a core member, was ostracized and suppressed. This made sense. A secret organization centered around desire would undoubtedly experience a multitude of desires, both open and covert. Harsh. Mr. Loki, don't even ask, okay? This entire chat is fucking corrupted right now. Don't even, just please watch yourself, okay? Don't go hollow. A few weeks ago, Maipu Mayer mentioned that he wanted to sneak back into the market district to do something, and I haven't seen him since. Sneak back to the market district. Both Lumion and Franca were alarmed. I'm too narcissist. Hey, listen, whatever the reason, I'm just glad, okay? Why did Maipu Mayor return to the market district? Could it be that Maipu Mayor genuinely cared for Susanna Matisse and sought retribution? How would bald Sharon look? Don't even... You actually went... Oh, for fuck's sake. Mr. Loki, you're one of the good ones. Don't do this. Holy shit, Mr. Loki. I thought you were one of the good ones. What the fuck are we doing here? I'm not... Listen. I might, okay? I might. If my dad's genes kick in, I might go bald. But right now... I got better hair than damn near anyone else. Say what you want, okay? I have great hair. I love my hair. Without harnessing the collective might of the entire organization, he would inadvertently aid his adversaries, Lumion, by solely relying on his own capabilities. As Lumion observed Beatrice's countenance and vacant gaze, he tried to think from Maipu Mayor's perspective. Maipu, a Sequence 6 recipient, harbors an insatiable hunger for recognition. Despite facing rejection and isolation, he does have a motive to make a substantial contribution and earn recognition. While revealing the existence of the Tree of Shadow to Beatrice and the others could be seen that way, it doesn't measure up to rectifying his past mistakes. This peculiar competition might be perplexing to the ordinary, but not for a recipient. The question is, what does he hope to achieve? Is it a revenge against me? Although a direct confrontation holds little hope for him, he could pose a threat if he conceals himself in the shadows and influences me at a critical moment. After all, I lack a substitute ability, and my physical strength has not undergone a qualitative change. However, Maipu Mayor has heard plenty about me from Susanna. There's a good chance he knows about the angel in my body. If he were to perish, could he satisfy his yearning for recognition? Or is it the mere notion of taking a formidable foe with him to the grave that would leave the other members awestruck by him? Otherwise, does he aspire to make a sacrifice akin to Susanna, securing recognition from the Mother Tree of Desire? Turkey is the forbidden land and corrupted place for our church. They are the enemies. I wouldn't go to Turkey. I'd go to South Korea, of course. How bad is it that I don't even remember who Beatrice and my ears are? Okay, listen, motherfucker. If y'all can tell me how the fuck I should be Maipu Mayor, that's how I'm thinking of this, okay? You tell me. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't know, but that's how I'm imagining it. Shut up. Who the fuck is Susanna? Susanna Matisse? Evil spirit, like, who was like haunting our boy, the fucking waiter in Volume 2? But the Tree of Shadow is severely damaged and won't recover for a long time. Nonetheless, Lumion... My teats. Nonetheless, Susanna didn't suppress a surge of frustration and violence at the mere thought of a pair of icy eyes lurking amongst the pedestrians. Nearby tenants, customers, or peddlers, it was as though someone close to him had been replaced by a mayor without anyone knowing. The detrimental side effects of the contracts, items, and other brands continued to destabilize him. Frank, on the other hand, didn't dwell on this. Although the magic mirror spirit channeling spell endured much longer than standard spirit channeling, it was not entirely boundless. There was still a time limit, one measured in minutes. She was unwilling to squander this precious time. Of all the members of the Bliss Society, who does Mayor have the closest relationship with? He had the strongest bonds with the members in the Market District, but they were either dead or captured. Who in the Bliss Society is most likely to be privy to Mayor's whereabouts? No one, not even the new High Priestess. Who is the new High Priestess? It's Cyber. What's her true identity? Frank pressed. I don't know. She joined us later. At that point, we had evolved beyond a simple lesbian organization and started concealing our identities. She may be a theater actress, though. On the outer wall of Adana's apartment, Sauron clung there in silence. Through the curtains, she could only discern two shadows, not far away, their voices even more faint and distant than before. Adana and the imposter Teresa are still conversing? That doesn't make sense. At this proximity, with an assassin's acute hearing, I should be able to hear what's happening. What the fuck is going on here? Franca's magic mirror channeling had reached its limit, and it concluded. She wasn't overly disheartened because she already knew the crucial details about several members of the Bliss Society now and their weekly gathering, time, venue, and method. Mr. Loki, I don't need to know what kind of porn you're watching. Listen, I appreciate how close you think we are, and listen, I'm all here for it. But that in particular, I don't need to know. It's fine. But there is no need to personally track them. They're unaware of CL. Even if the Rose School of Thought locates them, there wouldn't be any valuable information. Franca cast a glance at Lumion, stowed away the mirror, and dispelled the wall of spirituality. Amongst the howling wind, the two of them sensed a disturbance at the window and the presence of a figure that seemed human. Franca's form vanished and Lumion sidestepped, evading the window's line of sight. Just as she was about to react, she spotted Franca's current disguised countenance. Their gazes locked and silence hung in the air. "Where's the Dana?" Browns asked. "Unconscious," Franca gestured. "Has it been dealt with?" "Yes." Browns darted between Franca and Lumion. "When did you launch the attack?" "Why don't you take a guess?" Sauron recollected the faint movements she had sensed, but found no overt signs of a battle. This left her astonished. Could this wild demoness and her partner be this formidable? Consumed by jealousy, she leapt into the room and shut the window. She doesn't seem concerned about us attacking her. Is she inexperienced, or has that much confidence in her abilities? "We've gathered some intel, including information of the current High Priestess of the Bliss Society and some core members," Franca said. She began recounting the information they had inquired. The more Browns listened, the more astonished she became. They managed to get so much intel so quickly? Could it be that Teresa was ambushed the moment she entered the room? Based on her theory, this member of the Bliss Society appeared to be a Sequence 6, on par with Franca, even surpassing the suspected Sequence 7 pyromaniac CL. I am pleased to inform that our problem is simpler than we thought, and it's been resolved. Well, now it's your problem. Beatrice isn't the only core member with an interest in the Red House Cafe, Franca said. "Are you instigating me?" Browns asked. No, simply a reminder." While they continued their conversation, Lumion returned to Beatrice's lifeless form, crouched down, and conducted a more thorough search, discovering 1,500 World d'Or in banknotes and coins. "We don't speak that name here, Pushkar." Lumion unfolded the note and read in Metesian. "Go to the hostel." What the fuck is this word? Excuse me? Mr. Loki, no, you wouldn't do that to me. What the fuck?
Hostel.
Go to the hostel and retrieve their painting within 3 days. Hostel? What hostel? What painting is this referring to? This seems like a deal made by an authentic art dealer, Teresa, but somehow the receipt ended up in the hands of the imposter? Where's the real one now? He stood up, prepared to question Sauron about the real Teresa's situation. Although Browns recognized that Franca was trying to instigate her, she couldn't deny that Franca had a point. "Oh, thank God, Matt, you're back. Oh, how you feeling, buddy?" Surely the fucking corruption took over for a while. At that moment, all three of them halted simultaneously and directed their attention towards Beatrice's lifeless body. The light over there seemed to dim, and the corpse underwent a subtle transformation. Would you want to talk to my chair? May, I hate to tell you, but you put on the Green Goblin mask there for a bit. I hate to be the guy to tell you, but you should know. You actually, you beat up a couple of orphans as well. I'm not saying you have to apologize or anything, but I just thought you should know, okay? Man, this is gonna be chapter 6 in like an hour, but this feels so slow because like I have to go 12 more fucking chapters. Holy shit. But hey, we're making good timing. Beatrice may have been lifeless, but something within her appeared to stir. Slowly, it seeped out. This caused an ambient light to dim, making the apartment ceiling appear strangely ethereal. It wasn't as if an actual gaze was directed at them. Rather, it was as if the sole occupants of the entire building, with no obstructions to the crimson moonlight in the sky, casting a glow upon them. Lumin's heart raced. Manish, how's it going, man? How you doing? Lumin's heart raced. The two demonesses, skilled in divination, experienced an overwhelming sense of danger. With a snap, a translucent boil of blood materialized on Beatrice's lifeless body. A wart burst open. What the fuck? Lumina was caught off guard. Although he had taken the lives of many members and spent much time beside their corpses, he had never encountered anything like this. Death ended everything. Even though Lumina didn't understand, he formulated a plan. He gazed at the hazy, illusory ceiling. His intention was to step forward, seize Beatrice's body, and teleport to the Albert mines. The deeper they ventured into the underground trio, the greater the peril. Various corruptive elements that had led to a loss of control led there. That place was inherently an amalgamation of problems. Fine, just finished volume 7. Volume 7! Hey, shit, nice, dude! That was my favorite... Wait. Sorry. Volume 7 of COI or Lord of the Mysteries? Just so I know. Lumin planned to utilize the Spirit World Traversal for a third time, returning to the surface and avoiding any danger. COI? Oh, how was that? While Lumin made his decision, Franca instinctually moved towards Beatrice's lifeless body. Thank you, Harsh. Let's go. We're finally getting them back slowly, boys. Yeah, fuck yes. This ancient mirror was connected to a strange and perilous mirror. She could attempt to encase Beatrice's body in it for the time being. This would buy them some time. Ultimately, whether the departed believer of the Mother Tree of Desire triumphed, or the enigmatic mirror absorbed the corruption, it wouldn't directly impact Franca. Compared to them, the inexperienced Sauron's initial reaction was to incinerate the remnants of spirituality in the corpse with her black flames, freezing the emerging mutation. At that moment, Lumina and the others sensed a dimming of the light around them, as if the moon had vanished. Instinctually, Lumin turned his gaze to the window and discerned that the glass had turned pitch black, no longer offering a view outside, as if the window had been sealed. Simultaneously, the entity that had been emanating from Beatrice's body lost, returning to the eternal darkness. Their mythical connection to an unknown entity dissipated, and they all lost the sense of being watched. Their heartbeats slowly returned to normal as they witnessed the tree-like wart on Beatrice's body wither. The darkness surrounding the corpse receded, and the imperceptible object began attaching itself to the diamond necklace adorning Beatrice's corpse. Beneath the crimson moonlight, the building at 23 Rue Menier, concealed in the darkness, every window remained void of light, with no signs of life to be found, exuding an eerie stillness and a sense of foreboding. And mystery all over the Sephira Castle. True. You read up to 370 today? Wow, good job, Zaza. How's your exams going, buddy? Across the street. Yeah, you could never turn on a UV light in the Sephira Castle ever again. It would fucking blind you, you know, because he mysteryed all over it. In that precise moment, the mirror's surface seemed crystal clear. Gas wall lamps emitted a warm yellowish radiance from the windows of every floor. The elderly guard on the first floor smoked a cigarette, but he had collected and leaned against the lobby wall, savoring the tranquility of the night. Near an ajar window, a half-naked man kept a cautious eye on the door, ready to make a hasty escape at any moment. On the fourth floor, Lumion, Frank, and Browns found themselves perplexed. One contemplated using their abilities to discern an escape route from the crime scene, while another delved into a concealed pocket with her right hand, searching for something. I was studying, but now I can't. I didn't study for exam. What exam is it, Zaza? Eve, are you studying for an exam too? In an instant, the well-lit building disappeared from the mirror's surface, and the silent, gloomy apartment began to illuminate. Figures were reflected one after another. I don't. How good is your Urdu? I don't fucking know. It is Eve night evening on Discord. I don't fucking know. Why are you asking me this? Yep. We've got 5 exams in a week? Okay, high school exams or like college or university exams? Because those two are very different. I study for math instead. Fair. Uni? Okay. Alright. No problem. How you feeling? Lumion surveyed the room and realized that Adana's apartment had returned to its usual state. The unsettling anomalies, like the impenetrable darkness and the strange window, all dissipated. Beatrice's corpse had reverted to its original form. Holy unks, I'm going there in a month? Yeah, oh wait, oh yeah, you're a fucking child, Matt. I forget, bro. It's okay, I believe I will survive. What are you taking? Yeah, Eve. Lumion, who was ready to whisk Frank away at a moment's notice, relaxed somewhat and exchanged a look with Brown. The Demoness sect won't just send such an inexperienced member to investigate Franca. Had one of the truly powerful Demonesses who had been observing intervened to help? This behavior doesn't seem characteristic of a mid-sequencer, a high-level Demoness, a Sequence 5 Demoness wielding a godhood item? No wonder Brown's opened so openly. I wonder if the hidden Demoness has seen my spell of Harumph. Alright, bye Zaza. Franca shared a similar thought. She diverted her attention from the window and regarded Brown's. The necklace appeared to have changed. She said, looking at Beatrice's corpse. I'm doing commerce, exams on law, marketing, maths, and something else. Marketing is easy as fuck. I don't know what something else looks like. Math, if you're doing commerce, math should be pretty basic, I would assume. Law doesn't sound very fun, though. Lumion also noticed this transformation. The transparent diamond on the necklace seemed to reflect the light from gas wall lamps in a captivating manner. Could it have become a Beyonder weapon similar to Fallen Mercury? Had the previous boon returned to their source because there were no abnormalities? Lumion approached the corpse. As he went to touch the necklace, a multitude of desires surged, making him retract his hand. With items like the boxing gloves and the host of contractual negative effects, he was no longer suitable for contact with the necklace. You handle it, Lumion said. It's gesturing for Franca to take it. I'm dying because of law. True. Without further delay, the two of them bid farewell to Browns and made their way back. Everything else is fine? Yeah, that's how that goes. For me, it wasn't law because I didn't have to take that, but it was tax, which was fucking cringe shit. Fuck, tax sucked. Franca had successfully dealt with Beatrice and stood a chance at passing the Demoness's audit. She had also acquired a Beyonder item that complemented the abilities of a Demoness. Her good mood was evident, and she almost hummed a tune to express her positive feelings. What's on your mind? She glanced at Lumion. I'm wondering where Mayor may be hiding. Let's go underground now. Do you think he might return to the place where Susanna once conducted the sacrifice? Maybe. Lumina wasn't certain, but thought there was a chance. Taxes were designed to be as confusing as possible. Yeah, they're not. Great. Franca, feeling confident in her gains from the spoils of war, didn't attempt to dissuade him. Using a fireball for illumination, they navigated the relatively familiar path. Passing by the collapsed mine where Rentus, a member of the Bliss Society, had been buried, in the location where Jenna was drugged, they ventured deeper into the altar area. The area was marked by scorched signs, devoid of any living creatures or malevolent auras. The cave's collapse and crevices had been filled with soils and rocks. Lumina examined the area and noticed fresh marks. These marks clearly didn't belong to the same person and came from different visitors. As Lumina examined the marks, the memories of the tree shadow, samurai and women's spring, and the Iron and Blood Cross Order all flooded in. These seemingly irrelevant elements all pointed to one thing: to the hidden histories and perils lurking beneath Trier. I'm gonna go read ORV. Nice, nice. Have fun. Bye, harsh. No worries. Oh, man. What, 12 more chapters? We can do this, right, boys? I just need to really lock in for 2 hours. Frank also noticed the footprints and traces. After carefully observing for a while, she remarked, "At least 4 people have come together in the past 2 weeks." Mayor has accomplices? Lumin gazed at the collapse that had been filled and pondered. What's more important isn't whether they have accomplices, but what they're doing. If it's truly Mayor, and not a random team of cave explorers, he knew that this place had been destroyed. There wouldn't be anything valuable. Why bring people here? To pay homage? Maybe, Franka muttered. What if he achieved something and received a new boon, becoming a tree spirit? It's also known as Baby Cupid. There is a distorted desire in affairs of the one's heart, just like Susanna did with Charlie. Therefore, Mayor coming here to pay homage makes sense. But there's no need to bring 3 or 4 people to watch him, right? Perhaps he didn't do it on purpose, but just happened to pass by? Are you suggesting Mayor and his accomplices frequent the underground of the Market District? I now believe that Mayor didn't return to the Market District to deal with me. He may eventually seek revenge, but that's the outcome, not the process. Is their target something about the underground in Market District? But the Tree of Shadow is damaged. What's so special about that place? It can't be the entrance to the 4th Epoch Trier. But that's not impossible. Lumion recalled the situation in the Market District and the rumors he had heard, and remembered that Madam Magician's doll messenger had a strong aversion to Saul de Barbry, claiming that old bones were buried there, referring to a unique situation beneath the Market District. And the building facing the motel was suspected to be related to St. Robert's Old Cemetery. This is a problem. It's not hard to figure out. Summon that messenger later and ask, Franco remarked. Prime Wiz Aerospeed. Listen, like I said this week you were gonna get a glimpse of me and my Prime, okay? And I wasn't fucking lying about it. Listen, 18 chapters in a day, when I do that, something like 18 chapters in a day, that's some Prime shit, okay? That's not some shit I'd be doing, because normally right now I just go like, hey guys, I know it's early, but good stream, 7 or 8 chapters, I'm fucking calling it. But we're gonna keep going, boys. We're gonna keep going. The two of them ventured deeper, but they eventually lost the trail of their target. The suspected members had traversed several well-known and long-used tunnels frequented. Their tracks had been concealed by those who came after. Lumion, with a fireball above him, came to a halt and stared at the pitch-black mine ahead. Franco was about to suggest leaving when Lumion spoke. Don't you think the Market District has been quiet the last month or so? What do you mean? 007 didn't think so, at least. Let me put it another way. Apart from Beyonder problems, isn't the Market District oddly quiet mysticism-wise? No, to be precise, after the Tree of Shadow was damaged, the heretics have become inactive. Right, no new factions have emerged or to engage in conflicts. There have been no suspected sacrificial cases amongst those that preach secretly, even amongst them. I only encountered a swindler occasionally, but he was just an ordinary sick person. Since the Tree of Shadow incident, the only true heretics Lumina and Franca had encountered were Guillaume Benet from the Sinners Organization and Beatrice of the Bliss Society. The Rose School of Thought's werewolf could barely be considered one. Brown's was only considered half an element. This organization had a solid history and believed in an evil entity of this world, not aliens, or not alien evil gods. Isn't that normal? Secret organizations that believe in evil gods must operate in secret. Look, we didn't notice Mayor returning before. If it were anyone else, your explanation wouldn't be a problem, but I have an alien god's angel sealed within. According to Madam Magician's convergence theory, there must be a reason why I haven't encountered a heretic in so long. Can you use dream divination on me to help me remember something? No. A seer maybe can, but not me, Franca shook her head. What do you want to recall? Seek Madam Hella's help. She can probably do it. I'd like to recall an address where a suspected heretic resides. I plan to check on it and see if they've vanished, gone into hiding, or fell silent. There's no need to trouble Madam Hella for now. I know who to ask. Seeing Lumin return to the surface, Franca spoke. What address? Who are you referring to? We'll talk later. Let's head to Rue de Scotch Broom in Quartier de Noël first. Why does this sound so familiar? Franca mused. As she neared the surface, she remembered Madame Pauli's address, Madame Knight from Cordoue. This area was filled with villa-like buildings, each with a lawn facing the street and a garden at the back. Lumin walked into the shadows where the street lamps couldn't reach and inspected the lawns and gardens of each home. Franca did the same. Without knowing Polly's house number, they had to rely on the unusual vigorous and lively plants to make a judgment. As they approached, they noticed a garden filled with blooming flowers. It feels like no one has lived here for a while, Franca began to understand. Has Polly, a member of the Night Stalkers, moved out and hidden herself? Lumin observed and listened, confirming that the building was empty, took out a piece of wire and opened the door. The living room was devoid of furnishings, the linen long gone, dust had gathered. Lumin proceeded further into the home, and Franca followed. Upon reaching the coffee table, Lumin bent down and picked up a newspaper. Lumin examined the newspaper. Early June. Meeting Madame Polly didn't leave immediately after I got the address from Louis Lund, nor did she depart after the Tree of Shadow. She resided here for a while, and then chose to abandon it. Something is indeed amiss, Franca noted. Upon receiving an old newspaper advertising the Interstellar Bridge from Laurent, the former remnant of the motel and now the deputy editor of Le Petit Trianon, Lumin and Franca arrived at 9 Rue Saint Martin. The 5th floor was an office rented by a group of swindlers and heretics. Under the dim starlight, the entire 5th floor lay shrouded in darkness. Lumin cautiously reached and pushed open the door. The moonlight filtered through the window, revealing scattered newspapers on the ground. Many drawers open, devoid of any belongings, as if the swindlers had swiftly retreated. Based on the written information, they concluded this floor had been vacant for 2 weeks at least. There's something wrong. Why have the heretics all reduced their activities and gone quiet? This suggests something big is about to happen, Lumin said. Without waiting for Franca's response, he instructed, contact 007 and inquire about the information regarding the sick church. Also, find the problems that may be lurking in the St. Robert's Old Cemetery. I'll write a letter to Madam Magician to share our findings. He also planned to ask the messenger about the meaning of the old bones. In the motel, Lumin set up the ritual and summoned the messenger. As he handed the letter to her, he asked, what did you mean by the old bones underground? Filthy, repulsive old bones from the 4th epoch, the doll spoke. Let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. What do you think is brewing? I think they're probably planning like a big attack or like something really bad, like the fucking child of a fucking evil god is planning to be resurrected here or some shit, and they're like, I'm not trying to be near this bitch when this happens. Like, you know, like the child of the fucking true creator or some shit, whatever was happening. Something similar to that, maybe? Something like bad. Old bones from the fourth epoch. Lumina disregarded the messenger's emotional description and focused on the essential information. This didn't provide a deeper insight to what he knew. Lumina took a moment and asked, where does it come from? How did the old bones look? I've never seen them. Their aura alone is repulsive and disgusting. So even you don't know. Lumina decided not to press the messenger any further. She vanished carrying the letter. Only then, as Lumina waited for the response, did he have an opportunity to assess his gains. A vial of truth serum, a vial of Bliss Society sedative, smelling salts, and 1500 Vril ore. Apartment 601. So late, I thought you'd resolve it so quickly, Jenna asked, greeting Franca at the door. She believed Franca and CL had a high chance of winning. We ran into an accident. Just a moment. Franca looked at Jenna. What's wrong? She asked. Franca walked to her side and examined her pupils. There was no signs of her wearing blue contact lenses. Phew. Franca let out a sigh. In the future, we need to continuously verify if we're actors in disguise. Actors of the Mothership of Desire couldn't alter their bodies or change their appearance, like faceless. They relied more on makeup and props. Like a mass sacrifice or descent of an... Yeah, I'm thinking like descent of an evil god more than a mass sacrifice. Among these, the colors of the eyes were the most challenging for actors to mimic. Of course, this wasn't foolproof, as you could always find actors with the same eye colors to begin with. In the current situation, Mayer's eyes were dark brown and Jenna's blue, and Lumina's were the same. Franca was a shade lighter, more akin to blue of a serene lake. For the time being, they had no reason to worry about being impersonated for now. The only person they needed to worry about was Anthony, who also had dark brown eyes. As an acting apprentice at the theater, Jenna was particularly attuned to their activities. She became alert and said, "Are they targeting the market district again?" "It's Mayor. He's back in the market district and we don't know where he is," Franca replied. Of the Bliss Society members, the only one Jenna was familiar with was Mayor. She had a deep-seated fear of him. Unconsciously, she touched the arrow of Bloodthirsty in her pocket. "I'll be careful." Franca didn't offer anything else and activated the radio transceiver and contacted 007. 007, paging 007. 20 or 30 seconds later. "Hidden Blade, don't do this to me. I'm scared. What's going on?" "There could be a problem," Franca replied. "Bro, before I disclose the situation, help me gather some information. I need to confirm two things. First, any developments related to the malady god faith in the Quartier de Jardin Botanique? Second, what lies beneath the old cemetery of Église St. Robert's? Hope, how's it going, man? I'm off duty tonight. Seriously, now I have to go back to work overtime? Give me half an hour." "No problem," Franca replied. As she conversed with the other members of the Telegram group, she retrieved the diamond necklace she had acquired from Beatrice and used various methods to discern its capabilities. The diamond corresponds to a total of 5 desires: lust, appetite, lust, acting, and fulfillment. That's lust twice. It doesn't seem to have too many uses. Usage of each desire shouldn't exceed 2. With it on, I seem to be better at acting and makeup. I'll just keep it in my pocket for now. After wearing it, I'll become more excited than usual, and my various desires will increase significantly. If I encounter Beyonder with significant abilities, I'll be restrained and even have a huge loss. Among them, the most intense desire is the desire for recognition. Yes, this thing can't be used against Beyonders of the Mothership of Desire. What should I call it? Beatrice's necklace. Simple and convenient. 007's response arrived faster than Franca thought. According to the Heretic database, the Malady God's envoy hasn't been located. He appears to have sensed danger and hasn't resurfaced. The situation at the cemetery is extremely classified, and I can't investigate it. Anarchy Street. Madam Magician's slow response arrived after an hour. After the death of a bestowed, the return of power to the source is deducible, but typically you wouldn't be able to sense it. This time it was due to you wearing the boxing gloves. They are made from the Tree of Shadow and are closely related to the one that the Bliss Society believes in. Therefore, when Beatrice's boon returned and the connection was strengthened, the entity indirectly noticed you and the Two of Cups, which caused the corpse to exhibit an abnormality. To retain the boon power and prevent it from returning, you require the corresponding abilities or a unique environment. Sometimes these two can be one and the same. In simple terms, you need to become a demigod, or obtain something of that level. Only then can you have a chance of preserving the remaining boon and forming an item. Of course, in specific environments such as near the Samurai and Women's Spring, you can do it without. Unlike his previous killings of the members of the Bliss Society, he now had the boxing gloves, bringing about a different development. The use of the gloves attracted the attention of the hidden entity to begin with, and its connection to the Mother Tree of Desire. We have already noticed Trier's anomaly and are monitoring it. However, it is unclear when we will find any answers. What we can say is that changes will occur, within a time frame ranging from 2 months to half a year. We cannot provide a definitive answer as to what lies beneath the motel, as it is challenging for me to approach. What I can say is that it is certainly more than the corruption left behind by at least a Tudor. Don't dwell on it, it is beyond your capabilities. Focus on getting stronger and biding your time. The next morning, Lumin had a conversation with Franca and Jenna, gathered his funds, and went to the boss's house. Boss, here's 30,000 gold and 30,000 Wordle-style, Lumin said. I still have 1,000 and nominal funds of 1,500. Martin glanced at Lumin, unzipped the bag and began counting the money. He didn't inquire about Lumin's remaining funds. You need to promise 2 things. Memorize this formula before burning the piece of paper. Second, do not resell it without my or the supervisor's permission. No problem, Lumin said. Conspire a potion formula. Black hunting spider's composite eye, sphinx brain. Supplementary ingredient. 1 black hunting spider poison gland, 80 milliliters of sphinx blood, 10 grams of amber powder, and 2 white oak fruit. As Lumion memorized the formula, he allowed the crimson flames to engulf the goat skin. As time passed, unbeknownst to him, the heat of Trier began to wane and the temperature dropped. One mid-September day, Franca stood before the window in apartment 601 and cursed brown Sauron for what felt like the 100th time. Hello, unknown. She had already passed the demoness's sex audit and informed Browns that she had joined the mob to infiltrate the Iron and Blood Cross Order. Only after this time, but she never anticipated there would be an assessment period. Only after this could she become an official member. Her current liaison, Browns, used this as an excuse to prevent her from participating in the cafe's orgies, leaving her with no choice but to endure Martin and his lover's torment. Franca turned her attention to Jenna, who had appeared lost in thought. What's troubling you? Franca asked. My instigator potion has finished digesting, Jenna said. That's great! Fuck, I haven't even paid you back the money I owe you, and I have to consider the next potion? Why does it feel like the more I advance, the poorer I become? I join your side. Let's go, baby. What's this profile pic? Oh, that one is cool as fuck. Holy shit, that's so cool. That's beyond her, baby. Okay. Alright, guys. Let me take 5. Let me just go. I'm out of coffee. I just need to get something. I can't talk this much without having something to drink. Give me 5. We'll be back and we'll continue with the last 9 chapters. I think we're halfway through, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we're at 9. We need to do 9 more. We're chilling. So cool. Luvian's goated. Fucking love the dude. Alright, I'll be back in, I don't know, 5? I'm just gonna leave this here again. I don't have my fucking be right back screen set up again. I know, cringe shit. I'll get that done sometime. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay, sorry, I'm back. Give me 2 minutes. I just need to quickly do something, and then we'll get back to reading. Kami's gonna be so fucking mad he missed today, because he's gonna be like, no, there's supposed to be 18 fucking music changes, and you missed them all, idiots. Bro, you weren't here. Okay, what do you want from me? Oh, for fuck's sakes, come on. Sorry, give me 2 more minutes, guys, and I'll get back. We'll get started again. Okay? I just. Okay, dope. Yep, sorry, we're good. Okay. Alright, we are still on pace to do 18 chapters in 2.5 hours, so let's keep it going. We just need to shave off 3 minutes now, so that's not so bad. Let's get this bitch rolling. Franka chuckled at Jenna's complaint. That's typical. As long as you master the acting method, progress comes quickly before reaching the mid-sequences. The pace at which you save money often falls short of the expenses required. Jenna fell silent and said, "You instigated me without even using your abilities." That's just the way it is. I'll share the formula for the witch potion now. Let's start gathering, Franka said. Jenna stood beside her, examining the Intesian words that took shape. Meanwhile, Jenna silently tallied her debts. Including the Purifier's rewards and the earnings from my underground singing, I've saved up nearly 10,000. According to Franka and CL, a Sequence 7 formula goes between 30 and 40,000 world over. I owe Franka at least another 30,000, bringing the total to 60. Even if I sell the Arrow of Bloodthirsty, I can't make up for it. And I'll have to purchase ingredients soon too, which will cost another 30. Holy shit. The more Jenna calculated, the more her head throbbed. If it weren't for the potion's tangible transformation and the clear, visible abilities, she'd suspect she'd fallen into a scam. In the past, her whole family felt hopeless when dealing with the debt of a few thousand, but now she owed Franca 60,000 with no end in sight. Gritting her teeth, Jenna decided to put these worries aside for now. Sequence 7, Witch. Main ingredient, every drop of an abyss demonic fish's blood and a gate peacock's egg. Supplementary, 80 milliliters of purified water, 5 drops of Jimson weed juice, 3 scales of shadow lizard, and 10 drops of daffodil juice. She handed the paper over to Jenna and said, avoid gathering these materials at gatherings. Acquire them from gatherings you discovered and joined, as well as purifiers. Oh, and ask CL too. Franco was still in a demoness sex assessment period and worried about potential spies from secret organizations and gatherings. If participants gathered the ingredients for a witch potion, it could raise suspicion. Alright, Jenna said. Regarding recognizing that the heretics were oddly quiet and receiving confirmation from major arcana holders, Lumina and Franca had suggested that Jenna and her brother relocate from Trier to another city for 6 months. Jenna had insisted on spending the time with her comrades and promised to advance quickly. As for her brother, Jenna genuinely wanted to keep him away from Trier anyway. She wanted him to live a safe, happy life. Jenna couldn't help but say, I went to Port Le Sur last week. Port Le Sur was one of Trier's primary ports. Did you instigate that stubborn fellow? She asked. No, but I shifted my instigation efforts to a different target. I discovered that the shipyard where Julian works has a branch in Port Le Sur, so I used my instigation to convince their supervisor to propose a 6-month technical exchange between the factories. I only digested the potion after successfully instigating this. Holy shit, no matter what I told Julian, he refused. He even reneged on his word the next day. As soon as his supervisor said, though, he started packing. The skilled workers from Trier arrived in Port Le Sur last week. The return leg will be half a year. Franca, why don't we figure out a way to get more people to leave Trier and lay low? They won't believe us, Franca sighed. Moreover, if they leave, the Evil Gods organization may sense it and act prematurely. Unspoken was the fact that combined with the Madame Justice's words and CL's intent, the surface Trier served to seal the underground Trier. Everyone in the city contributed to its strength. If too many left, the seal may weaken. Her upbringing and past 6 months of experience had taught her to accept the harsh reality. After about 10 seconds, Jenna said, when I instigated the supervisor, I noticed that many neighboring factories had similar arrangements, so I had an example. Now that I think about it, could it be a covert effort by official Beyonders to reduce the population in the market district? It's possible, Franca considered. She wanted to say that it may be orchestrated by the Tarot Club or the Church of the Fool. Franca refrained from saying this because she hadn't yet told Jenna about her and CL's true faith. She had initially planned to visit the Fool's Cathedral with Jenna, but dared not to when she came under the scrutiny of the Demoness sect. In a four-wheeled carriage, navigating through the forest and farmland, Lumion, dressed in a casual suit, looked out the window. In the past month, he had mostly leisured. The past month had been the most leisure he had had in the past 6 months. But he hadn't found this leisure enjoyable. He seized every opportunity to digest his potion. This included visits to large morgues to the large morgue in the Island District to help cremate corpses. Motherfucker walked into a fucking morgue and just said, alright, oh, you want to be buried? Nope, you're getting fucking incinerated today, motherfucker. Ah. Bury abandoned large as sized trash, venturing underground to use flames to intimidate passing smuggling teams, successfully securing insurance compensation for small distressed merchants through fires. He said, did I hear you mention insurance fraud? Done. Incinerating a few wanted criminals and igniting the desires among many to leave Trier. The string of actions had brought Lumion to the brink of digesting his potion. It may only take another half a month, a week, or even less. Today, he had received an invitation from Count Puffer to visit Red Swan Castle. I bet you he's good, because obviously Puffer is already like super angsty about Lumion now. They're going to do something there and Lumion's going to digest it in the meeting, calling it. Over the past month, the Sauron family had hosted 5 gatherings, 1 at the castle, 1 for hunting, 2 for chats, and 1 at a cafe. Lumin had participated in them all, and nothing significant had occurred. Where's the probe Martin mentioned? Could it be a probe this time? The Cave Association hasn't made another appearance. Do they believe me? He redirected his thoughts from the near harvest farmland and contemplated the invitation for the day. What intrigued him even more was Martin's promise to secretly monitor every gathering hosted by Count Puffer. Under the afternoon sun, the carriage arrived at its destination. Puffer, dressed in a red velvet coat, was engaged in a conversation at the entrance with another guest as Lumina arrived. The guest was not someone Lumina expected. It was Albus, another member of the Iron and Bloodcross Order. Who is this? Lumina didn't conceal his confusion. A new friend. He'll join us more frequently now. His full name is Albert Medici. Ain't no fucking way. Okay, now we are back on track, because I read that chapter in 6 minutes. Wow. I truly am... See, anyone who says I am washed can watch this fucking chat, watch this fucking stream, and fucking cry about it, okay? See, when I don't have work and I'm not burnt out, I'm chilling. Albus Medici. Lumin repeated the name over and over. During Martin's gathering, Albus had never revealed his full name. Is he trying to make it more realistic? Lumin's gaze swept across Albus's face. Ciel Dubois, Lumin extended his hand. Albus took his hand and shook it. I've heard your name before. A generous patron. Mainly thanks to my sponsor, Lumin said with a double entendre. To the ears of the other guests, he was referring to his father. As a member of the Iron and Bloodcross Order, Albus caught the message. Count Puffer Sauron exchanged a few pleasantries with Lumin before escorting him. The gathering was intimate, with familiar faces all around. How about we embark on an adventure today, Puffer said. An adventure in the bedroom? Albus said. His intention was clear. Red Swan Castle may be spacious, with room for a key family member and even hundreds of soldiers, but it hardly seemed like the place fit for an adventure. The jest lightened the atmosphere. Perhaps you're unaware, but Red Swan Castle has an extensive underground. In the era of its construction, its primary function was war. It had to boast a cavernous cellar and a tunnel for escape. Throughout the centuries, my forebears expanded and modified the underground, turning it into a labyrinth resembling something out of a horror movie. Even though I grew up here, my knowledge of that place is limited. Our objective today is to venture deep into this maze and locate a count's crown that one of my ancestors misplaced. The one who retrieves the crown will be crowned today's king. Deep in the maze, scenes flash through Lumin's mind. The constant self-mutilating people in the castle, screams of unknown, a bronze coffin, a palm with dark red, nearly black vessels. Oh ma, how's it going? You missed your great supporter, Alma. And a withered black heart with a trickle of crimson seeping out. In an instant, Lumin comprehended the gravity of Puffer's proposal. He was probing. Suppressing the urge to scan his surroundings and catch a glimpse of Martin, who may be lurking, Lumin turned his attention to Albus. That sounds intriguing, Albus said. A game for the courageous. As if to quell any doubts. Those who decline are merely cowards, was the implication. Worry not, if you lose your way and cannot find your way back, just pull the bell rope in your chamber. The servants will be dispatched to search for you and bring you back. No problem, Honori said. I'm quite looking forward to something like this. It will provide me with excellent writing material, like Honori's last day, Lumin joked. Having attended numerous gatherings, Lumin was well aware of Honori and Irita's unique quirks. Honori had a taboo for praising fellow authors, while Irita was only stirred by the current social realities in Intis. Those old fogies from the old Intis faculties of arts will love this, Honori said. Let's divide into 2 groups and begin this adventure. We'll set out individually along the way. One will follow me, the other will follow CL. These individuals have all been kings in the past 3 months. Those willing to join CL, raise your hand. Me! Albus raised his hand first. Puffer remained unfazed, as if anticipated. The second to raise her hand was Elros, the cousin of Puffer. I've always been Monsieur CL's companion in the past. I see no reason to change that now, she said. Aw, so cute. He was aware that beneath her appearance, Elros possessed a complexity. In one of these unsettling dreams, most participants had descended into madness. Only 3 remained unaffected: Lumion, Puffer, and Elros. Lumion couldn't help but wonder what her true motivations are. The third was the poet Irida. He's my sponsor, he said. Those remaining, including Honori, Mullen, and Ernest, all formed a team with with Puffer. They left the comfort of the living room and found themselves standing next to the fully armored statue. Descending the stairs designed for 2 people to walk side by side, they ventured deep into the depths. After traversing 3 floors, Lumin and his group reached the entrance of the underground maze. The passage illuminated by wall lamps, some connected to gas pipes, while others had a more classical design. Lumin gazed at the ceiling and noticed the aqueous black bricks above, shrouded in darkness. Let's choose this one, Puffer declared, leading his team down the leftmost path. Lumin instinctively proceeded down the corridor ahead without hesitation. What's your reason for choosing this path? Albus asked. I have a faith in fate, Lumin said. I like that reasoning, Aros chimed in. I too believe in it, but only if fate is inclined to favor me, Irida said. Me? Oh, you're so clever, Irida. Soon they arrived at a dimly lit hall with 3 doors, each bearing a single word in Faceac: hope, death, and madness. Lumin had abandoned deep thinking at this point and without hesitation walked to the door of madness. As this door swung open, the light from the carbide lamps spilled in, revealing an eerie sight. Lifelike statues stood throughout the room. Not bad, Albus commented. Didn't your mother teach you manners? Elros said. I don't have a mother, Albus chuckled. Elros was taken aback, unsure how to respond. In the background, Irida spoke. In the past, when rumors circulated about me having an affair with a widow, I'd quietly spread gossip that I kidnapped the Member of Parliament's daughter and was suspected of murdering a merchant. I even found myself entangled in these rumors involving some human meat pies. As long as I don't care about my reputation and tarnish it, no one can perch on the moral high ground and point fingers at me. As expected of a poet. Lumin held his carbide lamp and made his way through the room. The wax statues illuminated appeared unwaveringly lifelike. Lumin couldn't shake the memory of the previous wax statues that had come to life and attacked. Albus spoke to Elros. You're Puffer's cousin. Your last name isn't Sauron, though, is it? No, it's not. Which family do you belong to? Albus said. My full name is Sauron and Einhorn. Ain't no fucking way. We have Sauron, Einhorn, and Medici under the same roof? Oh my god. This shit's about to get so whack, bro. And a tutor? Who's the tutor? Einhorn. Even though Lumin was a man deprived of education, he knew this last name represented the royal family of the Faceac Empire in the north. Oh, the tutor aura. I see what you mean. Yeah. It was worth noting that more than 1,000 years had passed since the establishment of the Faceac Empire, and the Einhorn family always held the throne. Albus glanced at Elros. You're an Einhorn? I couldn't tell. The Sauron family and the Einhorn family formed marriage alliances. Even though the Sauron family has long left the throne, this tradition endures. My mother just happened to marry a member of the Einhorn royal family. So your last name is Einhorn. Why did you come to Trier? 6 years ago, my father perished in the war between the Faceac Empire and the Lone Kingdom. My mother brought me back to Trier, where we stayed with my grandfather, who happened to be also Puffer's grandfather. 2 years ago, my grandfather passed, and my mother succumbed to illness last year. The frequency of death seems high. Aurora mentioned that while the 4 royal families sometimes collaborated and sometimes clashed, marriages between them never ceased. Consequently, cousin marriages had become rather frequent. Could a hunter-hunter marriage guarantee that future generations would be better suited for the pathway? The wax statues on either side, bathed in the yellowish glow of the carbide lamps, seemed lifelike. As they ventured deep in the underground, it grew narrower, and the wax statues almost obstructed their path. Lumin couldn't help but bump into them. The 4 of them reached the end of the room and opened an iron black door. Just as Lumin was about to depart, an impulse held him back. In the dimly lit room, the pained expressions of the wax statues appeared haunting. Lumin was reminded of his earlier encounter with the wax statues in the river, and raised his wrist slightly, extending his middle finger to the statues discreetly. I wish I could fucking set this place on fire, Albus lamented. Lumin was surprised, but concurred. This truly is a good idea. He had a suspicion that if he incinerated these statues, his potion would be digested. Red Swan Castles experiences between 3 to 5 fires a month. The 4 of them continued down until the corridor leveled out once again. With the yellowish glow of the 4 carbide lamps, Lumin discerned a room at a diagonal angle ahead. He approached and pushed open the door. Light streamed in, and the scene within was cast upon the eyes of Lumin, Albus, and the rest. Okay, I may not know much, but I know Kami would want some like eerie music here, so let me at least put that on, okay? I may not know much, but I know he would want that. Now, he might not be happy with my choice of music. That's a separate issue. The walls bore vivid, deep gouges, as if violently clawed at by someone until their fingers must have bled. The blood, having seeped into the crevices, had oxidized, turning black over time. Then a whistle reached Lumin's ears. Albus expressed his emotions through this sound. He moved past Lumin, entering the room, and ran his fingers through the deep scratches on the wall. I can only imagine the sounds that were produced, Elros commented. Lumin surmised that someone from this castle had once descended into madness confined to this room. After a cursory search that yielded no findings, they pressed on. They opted for the right moment at the 3-way intersection leading them to a room with a wooden door finally open. Inside, the room was in shambles, marred by the presence of the blackened bloodstains. The walls appeared to be adorned with what could only be described as decaying flesh. A guy exploded here, from inside out, blood and flesh spattered everywhere, Albus said. Lumin nodded imperceptibly. His judgment also aligned. Could it be the result of a pyromaniac losing control? I can't fathom why such a tragedy unfounded. There's a poetic quality to it, though, Irita said. An explosion as a form of art, Lumin muttered. The putrid, blood and decaying flesh seemed to exude an aura that could influence one's mind. After moving forward over 10 meters, they discovered another adjacent room. The room didn't reek of blood, but Lumin felt as if sharp blades were pressed against his skin. Sharpness was the word that came to mind. As the light from the carbide lamp illuminated, the rest observed the furniture that had been reduced to fragments. Remarkable swordsmanship, Albus remarked. Lumin wasn't too concerned with this. What did trouble him was that this place was unlike the other 2. Where had the person who had occupied this room disappeared to? Lumin scrutinized before deciding to move on. Shortly, they reached another descending staircase. The lower portion of the staircase enveloped in darkness. On either side of the stairs were slightly open doors. The interior of these rooms was pitch black, as though it could swallow all light. Lumin instinctively chose the left side, pushed open the door, and extended his lamp into the room. Bathed in the light, an intact bed, an undamaged table, and a chair stood in perfect order. 2 gleaming, cold swords adorned the wall before them. On the table, a pile of colorful building blocks, a row of iron soldiers, each as tall as a candle. These soldiers were clad in blue coats and golden embroidery. They wielded 2 spears resembling tree branches or rifles, a popular toy in Intes. Lumina walked over and placed the lamp down. He picked up one of the iron soldiers and twisted the torsion spring on its back. The soldier sprang to life, swinging forward while raising its spear. Mummies of owning such a set during his youth flooded Lumion before his mother's illness and his grandfather's financial troubles. There's no sign of damage here, as if containing items from childhood to adulthood, Alros said. I wonder if the owner of this room is still alive, hopefully not mad enough to scratch the walls or blow up. As they conversed, Lumion extended his hand, attempting to open the desk. Suddenly, an ethereal voice spoke. My grandfather went mad and ventured into the depths of this palace, never to return. They all swiveled around, scanning for the source of the sound. My father went mad and ventured into the depths of this palace, never to return. My brother went mad and ventured into the depths of this palace, never to return. I hear the summonings from the depths of this palace. They all simultaneously directed their gaze to the door across the corridor. The voice came from there. With a snap, Irita, possession in the corridor, pushed open the door behind them. Ignorance often knew no fear. The light illuminated 2 figures and materials. One of them was a flesh-toned puppet mounted on metal frame. Surrounding it were molds, hair, clay, and pigments. A man in a grayish-black robe, his natural red hair flowing. Red hair, like Medici? Sensing the intrusion of light, the man raised his head, revealing a withered face. Upon spotting Lumi and Irita and the rest, he spoke. Are you here to make wax statues? Chris, I've long lost my mind. It's way too late for me, buddy. Save yourself. By the way, is the music too quiet or is it okay? Because obviously the music is ending now, so right now it's going to be really quiet, but it'll... Irita took a step back. No, there's no need. He snapped out of his daze and focused on the man. Are you the artisan who serves Puffer? This count has a peculiar hobby of wax figurines for his friends. Lumin, who had already returned to the corridor, turned his head and asked, what should we ask you? Or sorry, what should we call you? The man looked up and spoke. My grandfather went mad and ventured into the depths of this palace, never to return. My father went mad and ventured into the depths of this palace, never to return. So you're mad as well? Albus interrupted. I hear the summonings from the depths of this palace. At this point, his gaze swept across the faces of all. Obscured by his beard, the corners of his mouth curled up. The 3 of you hurry to the depths of this palace. Why not me? Irita said. Lumin's mind raced. He sought the common ground he had with Albus and Alros. As Irita had pointed out, the 3 of you didn't include Irita. I'm a hunter. Albus is a hunter. Could Alros be one too? While Lumin contemplated, Albus Medici seemed unfazed by these words. Do you want us to venture deep to rescue your grandfather, father, and brother? Or do you prefer to send them your regards? Logically speak. Okay, this music doesn't fit. This is very nice music, but it's very... this is so much better. Oh, this is so much better. That music is very hopeful, and we don't need hopeful right now. We need despair. Quite aggressive. Logically speaking, he's at least a pyromaniac. There's no need to provoke everyone. Could it be that he's misleading the others to believe he's just an idiot? Or a provoker? Sorry to bother you, Lumion said, not giving Albus a chance to escalate. He reached for the vermilion door handle and closed it. Lumion decided not to explore the room. That man looked like a lion, Elros said. Lumion recalled the wax statue's artisan's appearance. Indeed, he did resemble a lion. This is your maternal grandfather's castle. You've lived here for years. Don't act like a visitor who doesn't know anything. I don't know who that person was, Elros said. I rarely enter here. The furthest I've gone is the room with the statues. In other words, you've chosen the same path as me during your limited exploration. Chose the door of madness. Why don't you continue deeper? Lumion thought. Have you heard of the legend of the Sauron family members going mad and venturing this palace? Excellent. The question I wanted to ask. He had no reservations, and with great acumen asked questions that Lumion couldn't. I've always known of such legends, Elros said. The master of the castle and Sauron family members who reside here gradually become violent and irritable, going mad. And these motherfuckers continue to live here? Actual genuine retards. It is possible for them to enter the depths after mutilating themselves and never to return. They happen sporadically, every couple of years. Apart from the family members who yearn to restore their forebears' glory, Sauron has distanced himself from this castle. Can't give up a castle is, bro, fucking sell it! Just don't tell anyone, like, hey, have any people died in this castle? No, never. Not in the past 6 days. And, most of them probably, they aren't dead. They're probably just haunting the underground. You don't have a basement, okay? Just never fucking go down there. You'll be fine. Really, it's great. Is the surface explanation behind the Sauron... Wait, hold on. There is a certain effect, ensuring the Sauron family's continuation and heritage. However, that madness seems to be a curse. A curse rooted in the bloodline. Sauron, who resides elsewhere, will occasionally have people return and repeat the experience of their forebearers. Is this the surface explanation of the family's demise? If the core members of the family go mad one day and enter the depths, the family will indeed decline. Why did Elros tell us something that's so privy? She believes we won't leave here alive, huh? In the nightmares, the castle was overrun by lunatics who mutilated themselves. It appears these lunatics may have included members of the family itself. The screams. There was an added functionality we added. So in the foundations of the home, we had the builders put in some JBL speakers. They just go off occasionally, to really set the ambiance of the castle. Just don't worry about it. I want you to be mine again, baby. Not all of them shared the Sauron bloodline. Lumion remembered how Nori and the other participants had also gone insane and committed grotesque acts to themselves and others, despite lacking that lineage. Albus asked, did your grandfather also go crazy? No, he passed away due to chronic headaches. Not everyone goes mad. What common factors are amongst those who don't? That is a secret. I'm not going to tell you. If Elros had simply cautioned them against prying into the family's affairs, he wouldn't have reacted emotionally, but her willingness to share some but withhold the information was like provocation. The wax statues? Oh, the great-great-great-grandfather who owned this castle was a pervert. Just don't touch those. Don't ever bring UV light near them. You don't need to know, okay? Maybe set them on fire. Don't worry about it. After a moment of silence, Albus Medici's smile returned. What about your mother? She died due to illness. What about you? Will you suddenly go mad? In the long run, don't we all? Elros said. Yeah, that's not what you see. All that you see, like all the like dripping marks. You would think that's melted wax. You would be wrong. The fears of a family, the curse that had lasted for generations, and the forebears who had ventured into the underground. What an excellent theme for an essay. It is quite inspiring. If Honori were to find out, he would definitely produce a classic novel. As they conversed, the four of them reached the end of the lengthy stone steps. The four of them reached a vast hall with pillars supporting the ceiling above. Plenty if the dead, Albus spoke. At that moment, Lumina picked up the rustling sound. In the dim yellow light, the mottled ceiling, a colossal shadow. The shadow was a spider-like creature. In comparison to its kind, it only had one pair of eyes, but each eye contained numerous tiny single eyes, moving independently. Black hunting spider, one of the main ingredients of the Conspirer potion. Over the past month, although Lumina yet hadn't inquired the ingredients, he had amassed a general understanding of these creatures, including their appearance and abilities. But the black hunting spider he had just witnessed was even more unusual than the information he had gathered. It deviated, particularly the presence of a withered heart that resembled that of a human. So that's a monster then? It's like a human who went mad? Maybe? Or a monster that killed a human, I guess, and has his heart for some reason. Oh my god, 6 more chapters. Alright, now I'm genuinely starting to get a little tired. Alright, 12 chapters in, 1/3 to go. Let's get this bitch done, boys. Evolve monster? It's possible, I just don't know. Do those exist? What card has the best art? I don't know. I do like the spectator one. That was quite nice. Not the spectator, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. The suspected black hunting spider flashed and disappeared. What are you looking at? Irita asked. There's no mural on the wall of the maze. That doesn't match the Sauron family's glory. By the time Irita looked, the monster had vanished. In the northern continent, the murals were essential when constructing grand buildings. All painters took pride in being invited to create such magnificent works of art. I saw a venomous spider. No one has been here, and it seems to have become a haven for dangerous creatures, Lumina said. Albus, Alros, and I have impressive skills and extensive hunting experience, but you don't. Why don't you return? Going further could be difficult for you. No problem. You are my sponsor after all, Irita said. You good? Strawberry. Holy shit. How's it going? It has been a while, man. Yeah, no, I'm good, Alma. Just, 12 chapters in. Just, we're doing okay. Just. Let's keep going. We're okay. If it weren't to accompany you guys and have some fun, I wouldn't be down here anyway. I'm past the age of adventuring. Alright, I'll head back now. It's so much more comfortable up there than down here anyway. As the poet spoke, he turned around and walked to the stone's hall's exit. Behind Lumina, flames surged around Albus, transforming into a crimson spear. The member of the Iron Abad Cross Order transformed into a crimson spear and flew out, colliding with a spear that had attacked the poet. Wait, hold on. Just as he took a few steps, a blaze emerged from the shadows, hurtling towards Irida. With a resounding crash, the two flaming spears disintegrated, revealing Albus and the colossal black spider with a withered heart. The spider emanated a high-frequency squeak, raising its body and swinging its limbs, resembling scythes. At the same time, the nearly white-hot spear flew and struck the side of the spider, incinerating its shell. It was Einhorn. She seemed prepared and shifted her position, waiting for the spider to appear. In the next moment, agile fire ravens followed different trajectories, rushing into a wound created by the white spear. The explosion within the spider's body created a chaotic storm of flames. He had started condensing the fire ravens at that moment. Under the relentless assault, the spider emanated a piercing screech. The shriveled, blackened heart behind it glowed dark red. These fireballs formed a nest, enveloping the spider that shot at Lumion, Albus, and Alros. In contrast, Irida, who had been stunned, was ignored and unharmed. As Lumina and the others dodged the fireballs, one of them shot deep into the hall, dissipating. That one didn't dissipate fucking Irida, did it? The flames around them continued to burn. Albus glanced at the dark red liquid dripping from the injured spider. "Nice baiting," he said to Lumion. Lumion didn't deny it. He had asked Irida to return alone to lure the spider as bait. If the spider didn't take the bait, Irida would have left without any danger, but if it did, Lumion was ready to use Spirit World Traverse on the spell of Harump to protect the target. With such an opportunity, he wasn't willing to hold back and hide his trump cards. Unexpectedly, Albus's reaction was quicker than his, so Lumion stopped in time and switched to Fire Ravens, intending to observe the spider's combat style. Now Lumion was certain that the spider was more formidable than a black hunting spider. If it were the latter, it never would have escaped the encirclement of 3 hunters. Although it was confirmed that the black hunter was an equivalent to a black hunting spider, it was undoubtedly from their own pathway. That monster is different from a black hunting spider. There's a human-like heart on its back. What's going on? Lumion asked Alros. I've never seen it before. All I know is that the owner of this castle and many core members don't go mad adventure into the depths without returning. Someone will extract their heart and send it somewhere in the underground palace. What the fuck is this family up to? Lumion couldn't help but curse. At that moment, Irida finally snapped. Irida finally snapped out of her daze, looked at Lumion and the others. Are all of you capable of using Beyonder powers? You know about Beyonders too? Albus asked. 7 or 8 years ago, I went to a battlefield to gather materials. I knew that there were many people who could use superpowers in our army. They were called Beyonders. We do, and they look quite similar, Lumion said. Do you wish to follow us or resurface? Of course I'll follow you. Though it's unlikely that I'll encounter that spider again, it's better than walking alone in the darkness. I don't want the last poem of my life to be, "Oh, foolish Irida." If you wish to return, I can escort you. Then I'll definitely choose to return, Irida said. Do you want to join me? Wait here or venture deeper by yourselves? Lumion asked the other two. I didn't expect you to be such a moral person, Albus said. You can escort this poet yourself. His implication was clear. You must have ulterior motives for escorting him out, considering your lack of morals. I'm with Albus, Alros, who stood by Albus, replied. Lumion observed the 2 droplets of blood left behind by the spider and proceeded to ascend the stairs with Irida. Irida stared back and said, "Those two shouldn't be simple." "I know," Lumion replied. Holding the lamp, he advanced quickly. The war between the Lone Kingdom and the Faceac Empire ended 7 years ago, but Miss Alros mentioned that her father died 6 years ago. If I recall correctly, it was likely due to dissatisfaction with the Faceac Empire's losing treaty leading to rebellion. A civil war in the Empire. So why did she mention the Lone Kingdom? Is her father a representative of the extreme faction or a member of a royal family who perished in the rebellion? Lumion considered the information provided by Irida. Actually, before today, I saw Albus Medici elsewhere. Where? Lumion asked. Sacred Heart Cloister? Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way, bro. This motherfuckers. Bro, what is going on with the fucking EBS church? What the fuck are those idiots up to? God, they're getting fucking genuinely taken for a fucking ride here. Would you want to explore this basement, Wiz? Maybe. It depends on, am I a Beyonder? Am I just a normal dumb bitch? Because if I'm just a normal dumb bitch, I ain't taking that chance. You're out of your motherfucking mind. If I'm like a Beyonder, then I might be foolish enough to try, you know? If I was a grade old one. Unknown needs to be fucking galaxy level to take on like city level threats. See, he is he's the guy who'd say, if someone has a knife, I wouldn't want to fight him unless I have a nuclear bomb in my pocket. Like, okay, bro, those two don't seem remotely fair. 30% chance? Then there's a 30% chance I'm going. Sacred Heart Cloister, the largest cloister in the Eternal Blazing Sun in Trier? Why would he be there? I have a friend at the cloister. I often go to drink with him, Irita said. Can the cloister monks even drink? Of course they can, but they can't partake in liquor or get inebriated. The wine brewed by the cloister is the finest I've ever had. Your friend's a monk? Yes, he's a member of the Brotherhood Minor and served as my nephew's baptism priest. Later, when he could no longer tolerate the clergy indulging in pleasures, he chose to become a monk. How often have you and your friend seen Albus? What's his reason for visiting? Just once. I don't concern myself with such things. There are no nuns there. When I saw him, he was just walking through the corridor with a monk and entered the rear of the cloister. It appears Albus had not entered covertly or with fear of discovery. Amidst Irita's relentless search for topics, the two of them passed through the eerie wax statue room. Irita said, the underground palace is so dangerous. There are so many creatures here. Bufar wants us to fucking die. You've all been corrupted by the King's Pie game so many times. I truly wonder if you're even alive, Lumion thought. It seemed the more frightened and tense you are, the more you like to talk. That's what makes us alive, Irita retorted. Lumion turned back and retraced his steps. He hadn't closed the door when he left. Even though he hadn't approached yet, the yellowish light from the lamps made the statue appear faintly, as if they were waiting in the darkness. Lumion stopped at the door, bent down and picked up the lamp on the ground. Just then, he straightened up and swept his gaze at the statue's faces. Fire ravens began to materialize around him. Since Pufar had shown ill intent by guiding them to these palace, any person would have already died. There's no reason to show any courtesy to this fuck. Lumion's plan was straightforward. Set these statues on fire. It would help in digesting his potion, preemptively eliminate threats, and preventing these statues from coming back to life, and could create a chaotic situation that would disrupt the Count's plans. With a swift motion, he released a flurry of ravens. After dispatching two batches of ravens, Lumion dropped to one knee, pressing his hand to the ground. Fiery serpents slithered out, winding their way to the piles of statues. The flesh statues that composed their bodies rapidly melted, turning into liquid droplets and crumbling away. The muscles on one of the statue's faces disintegrated, revealing a new face. A male human who had lost his eyes and died long ago. Without exception, there was a human corpse inside each and every statue. Amongst the corpses encased in wax statues were men and women, some with exposed flesh and skin, others with heads and bodies that appeared to have been crudely stitched together after death. What all of them had in common was the haunting expressions of pain etched across their faces. As Lumion observed, the melted wax transformed into a viscous liquid that oozed from the faces of the deceased people. Lumion, who had seen his fair share of horrifying scenes, couldn't help but tense up. He knew where the people from the Red Swan Castle who had gone mad had gone. Lumian rose to his feet, clutching the lamp, crimson flames erupting from his body, transforming into a blazing meteor. The wax began to burn, feeding upon itself until there was no space for the fire to consume. He didn't avert his gaze but watched. At that moment, he gained a profound understanding of his abilities. A vague acting principle became clear. The pyromaniac wreaked havoc and chaos and catastrophe. They could unwillingly unleash disaster and destruction upon anyone. Lumian wished that the heretics would gotten mad and harm others would be engulfed by these flames. Having amalgamated his various acts into this principle, Lumian had an uncommonly clear sense that his potion had been digested. With a series of thuds, the bodies, stripped of their wax, fell to the ground and piled up. All of a sudden, the door creaked open. The wax statue artisan stood before Lumian. I knew this was gonna happen. I fucking knew something bad. I knew it. Oh, we're so cooked. This is so cooked. We're so dead. We're so dead. Why? Why did you set my statues on fire? Lumian didn't answer, and instead activated the black mark on his shoulder. Spirit World Traversal. Lumian's form materialized next to the artisan. Ha! A pale white light shot from his mouth. The artisan, clad in his greyish-black robe, swayed as if losing his balance, but didn't lose consciousness. More like he had undergone a psychic piercing. Lumian didn't rely solely on that, and prepared his left palm and hurled a crimson fireball, comprised in layers, into the artisan's mouth. The fireball gradually turned white in color and whooshed into the target's mouth and nostril, invading his brain. Boom! The white fireball exploded from the inside out, and Lumian watched as the artisan's head expanded before exploding. Jesus. With a thud, the artisan, with only half of his head remaining, swayed and collapsed. Lumian, who had meticulously prepared a series of attacks, found himself taken aback. He didn't expect it to be resolved so easily. He had foreseen that the artisan may pose a formidable challenge and readied himself to teleport. It was worth noting that the statues had reanimated previously and had been more formidable than the wax statue's artisan himself. Merely being in its presence had weighed heavily on Lumian's mind and body. Did he possess the unique ability to create these statues, but lacked power? Did he need to draw strength from the family's underground palace to bring these figures to life? By unknown, we should be done in the next probably half hour or so, so I doubt I'll see you. I appreciate you staying for so long, buddy. Have a good night. I'll catch you tomorrow. We're basically, listen, 18 chapters, we're basically caught up for yesterday, okay? I was going to read like 10 chapters, so 8, fuck off, okay? What are we at? We're going to be at like 4:30, and we still have like, what? Wednesday night, I'm not going to stream in the morning. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got 5 days to do like, what, 60 chapters? Easy work, no problem. Easy. In the depths of the palace. Are you going to if you do night streams, I can't join, but these streams are nice. No worries, man. This whole week we'll do night streams except tomorrow. Tomorrow I have something. Count Puffer, seated in the corner, opened his eyes and his gaze fixed upon the bronze coffin. Around the coffin, numerous candles extinguished. Puffer rose to his feet. At the exit of the statue chamber, Lumian witnessed a crimson radiance emanating from the artisan's body. Lumian felt a tinge of surprise. He tore open the grayish-black robe of the statue master. There lay a pitch-black wound in his chest where his heart should have been. His heart was missing. Elros had mentioned that members of the family had their hearts had been sent deep into this palace. The crimson light coalesced into an ethereal entity. Unsure if it's significant, Lumian stashed it away and made his exit. In the stone pillar hall, where the confrontation with the spider had begun, Albus and Elros observed as Lumian returned. Did he kill the poet? Albus asked. I killed the one making the statues. Lumin shook his head. Jesus Christ, Albus wanted him to kill the poet? What the fuck? That guy's a lunatic. Only 4 more chapters, boys. Damn, we really did good. Albus's eyes widened. Elros smiled and scrutinized Lumin's face. You're really ruthless. You even went back and killed the wax statue guy, Albus said. I had no choice. You stopped me from burning the statues. You burnt them? Of course. The statues melted away and peeled to reveal corpses. Well done. I must praise your courage, Albus said. He's saying it like I'm ignorant. The Sauron family isn't the one in the Red Swan castle who's gone mad, Elros said. Their butlers, guards, valets, and maids have also gone mad. Their deaths after mutilation are terrifying. It's not suitable for the family and public to know. They can only report their disappearance and compensate their families. Even so, they recruit new servants? Is it because the salary is that high, or do you just keep everything under wraps? Shall we continue? Elros inquired. Of course, Lumin thought. Lumin wanted to track down the spider and extract its characteristic. Albus answered with actions and walked deeper into the hall. Who was responsible for sending the hearts into the depths of the palace? Lumin asked Elros. Just because members of the Sauron family go mad doesn't mean that ordinary members can't enter. In particular, the successors of the castle often go to certain rooms and halls in the maze. It began the first time Pufur became king. Influenced by the frenzied and violent spirit, Lumin recalled the entity that had circled above his head after winning the game, not daring to enter. Soon the trio reached the end of the hall. Through an open wooden door, they followed a corridor with numerous reliefs of soldiers engraved on both sides. Ernest Young held a carbide lamp. We had already split up, and each believed we could find the crown, but before I could search, the lamp went off. I had no choice but to return in the dark and search for a room with a bell rope. How unlucky, Albus sighed. But before long, crimson flame shot out from his free hand, landing beside the critic and creating a flame. What are you doing? Ernest said. I'm helping you illuminate the area. Isn't it so bright? He's not surprised that Albus can create flames. Lumin had sensed there was something amiss with Ernest when he saw him. Like a troublemaker sent by Pufur. Flames raged and the temperature around Ernest soared. Lumin glanced over and noticed the strange softening on the critic's face. A viscous, wax-like liquid seeped out of his skin. As Lumin's forehead throbbed, Albus extended his hand and pushed open the door. Jesus Christ. Amidst the creaking sounds, the scenes behind the doors... Oh, fuck. Sorry, music changed. This is the really hopeful one. We can't have this. We need despair. Coffins of various sizes have been chiseled into the walls. Chains hung from the ceiling and coffins dangled from them. At this moment, Ernest raised his hand, his eyes empty, and tore at his own face. The half-waxed, half-real skin torn off, revealing bloody flesh. A potent scent of blood and burning permeated the air. The coffin lids in various colors opened one after another, and gigantic black spiders crawled out. Wait, are there a ton of those spiders? Are you saying there's a ton of Sequence 6 monsters here? That's fucking crazy. Sequence 6 should start being some pretty rare shit. Aiming at Lumin and the others, they extended their mouths and condensed a crimson fireball that was nearly white. They flew out as if a volley fired from an artillery barrage. Everyone lunged to the side of the corridor, avoiding the explosion. The entire corridor was engulfed in flames, ravaged by shockwaves. Lumin's target was the empty storage room to the side. Elros was the same, only Albus used Ernest as cover. Dude, Albus is a fucking dickhead! He said, nah bro, you're dying here today, okay? Amidst the incessant explosions, the critic, who had lost most of his face, shattered. The rustling sound resounded once more. Lumin's scalp tingled as he listened, his first instinct to teleport away. In the face of such monsters, he had no choice. He had no problem dealing with 1 or 2. 2 was a bit of a stretch, but 3 meant he had to retreat, and now there was a fucking dozen of them. Son of a bitch, there's so many of you. What the fuck do you eat? Suddenly, he heard an ethereal female voice. Elros, I command you in the name of the Sauron family bloodline. Leave. After a few seconds, the crawling sounds of the anthropods echoed, but they spread in all directions. Lumina left the storage room in thought, but there was no signs of those monsters. Elros stood in the corridor, her right hand clenched and her left palm hanging low, her aura different from before. Albus simply began clapping. Aren't you an Einhorn? Why are you using the Sauron family name? I have both bloodlines, Elros said. Do you wish to continue? She turned to Lumion. Of course! Albus was the first to continue. The game isn't over yet, Lumion cracked his neck. Although he had the urge to escape, the more he wanted to succumb to his urges, the more he couldn't show it. His experience and Aurora's teaching had taught him not to let others guess his true intentions. The aura around Elros, involuntarily submissive, gradually dissipated. Lumion and Albus entered the hall side by side and saw the wooden coffins that were now empty. Just as he was about to pass through, Lumion spotted a massive black spider in the corner. Its side was hideously torn and it was bleeding. The Beyonder creature they had previously fought, but due to its injuries it couldn't leave following Elros's orders. Upon seeing Lumina and the others, it raised its body to let out a threatening squeak. Lumion smiled. It's mine. The rest of the spoils of wars are yours. Is that all you care about? Elros said, I have no problem, but since it's yours, you can get it yourself. I won't help you. I like that. You can occasionally say something nice. Albus praised Elros. The 2 hunters, a man and a woman, appeared to be waiting to appreciate Lumion's performance. The spider had suffered severe injuries, but had clearly not lost its ability to fight. Damn, we're right on our time. I said 2.5 hours to read. We started reading at 12:30 my time. It's an hour and a half. And there's half an hour remaining in 3 chapters. Fucking peak. It's perfect. Literally, there's 29 minutes left. We're off by 1 minute. It's genuinely peak shit. And it's after taking like 10, maybe not 10 minutes, but like nearly 10 minutes off because I had to get some coffee and then do something else after. That's some pretty fucking good pace, man. Let those who call me a bum cry, bitch. Sensing Albus and Elros's gaze, Lumion cautiously approached the spider. As a hunter, he had a clear grasp of his teammates' mindset. Everyone assumed the role of a hunter, but the moment one revealed their vulnerability, they became the hunted. They wanted insights to Lumion's capabilities. They harbored doubts that Lumion could easily dispatch the artisan, believing that he must have paid a price. Moreover, they aimed to decipher the precise sequence of the previous winner of the King's Pie game. Lumion had no qualms about this, but he was reluctant to unveil his trump cards, Spirit World Traversal and the Spell of Harumph. He closed in on the spider, his thoughts racing, pondering the most efficient way to do this. Lumion's gaze swept from the tore-open side of the spider, which remained trapped in a hall like its kin, with blood oozing out. With his left hand, he retrieved a silver earring from his pocket and fastened it to his earlobe. Having digested his potion, his emotions steadied. He could now covertly wield the boxing gloves and employ lie. Crimson ravens materialized around him, and the spider reacted. Its heart, the shriveled heart within it, emitting a dark red glow, conjuring a plethora of fireballs. The fire raven encircling Lumion shot out, each following a distinct trajectory. After 100 crimson fireballs erupted, hurtling from the menacing howls. In an instant, the ravens were intercepted by the fireballs, while others detonated. At that moment, a brilliant fireball streaked from the hall's exit. Lumin had been waiting for this. He raised his left hand and snapped his fingers. With a crash, the fireball lost its trajectory and plummeted to the ground. Instead of detonating, the flames billowed up, revealing the spider's figure. Lumin charged, his left hand ablaze with crimson flames. Upon reaching the spider's side, which lay stunned from the impact, Lumin leaned in and swung his left arm, pressing the fireball against the grotesque laceration. Amidst the frantic thrashing, the spider barely managed to turn around, and Lumin had capitalized on the moment it leaned back to roll. His form materialized beside the crimson sea created by the fire ravens, distancing himself. Boom! A fireball detonated in the spider's body. The incineration may not have been visually apparent, but the swift expansion of the gas tore through the creature's body. The creature emanated a spine-chilling screech as its legs recoiled. Lumina wasted no time preventing it from regaining composure, condensing a spear that gleamed nearly white, and hurled it. The spear soared through the air, piercing the gaping wound and pinning the spider to the ground. The spear disintegrated, and the spider writhed round before falling silent. "It's settled," Lumina turned to his colleagues and said, summoning a dozen more fire ravens and sending them swooshing towards the spider. The spider leapt up once more, self-destructing. It had been pretending to be dead. Unfortunately for it, Lumina had maintained a distance and didn't fall into the trap. He only sacrificed a dozen fire ravens. The remaining crimson fire ravens swarmed the battered body, restoring peace to it. "Not bad," Albus nodded. Alros observed thoughtfully, with no response. Lumin turned to the spider, waiting for an iron-black light to emerge from its body. After assessing the spider's condition, he decided to exploit its injured state, potential weakness controlled by the probable desire in flame-controlling ability and agility. An activated lion harnessed its flame-controlling abilities to match his own speed and agility. After the characteristic seeped out, he decided to collect it before drawing any conclusions. Remove the shriveled heart, black eyes, and poison glands from the mouth. "Don't tell me you're merely a pyromaniac and haven't become a conspirer yet," Albus taunted. "You know perfectly well that I just became a pyromaniac," Lumin grumbled inwardly. "That's correct. Pyromaniacs can't take down the artisan," Alros mumbled. "See, I'm speaking the truth. If you doubt me and suspect otherwise, there's little I can do," Lumin chuckled. After traversing, they arrived at the dimly lit room. Within the yellowish light, soldiers donned blue coats adorned with golden threads came into view. If they were to come to life, it'd be an army, Albus remarked. Army, soldiers. Lumin recalled the desire for submission in the King's Pie game. In the midst of his musing, Lumin made a guess. Could the higher ranks of the Hunter pathway involve the military and obedience? Could a high sequence beyond of the Hunter pathway possess the ability to make soldiers? Maybe. Underground in the palace, it is indeed teeming with the essence of the Hunter pathway. This meant that Lumin didn't have to search, he merely needed to engage in combat to secure the rewards he needed. But a hunting ground. One that could potentially make me the prey, yet offer substantial gains. Lumin observed as Albus summoned layers of compressed white fireballs and sent them into the room. The fireballs didn't detonate, they hovered silently above the ground. The trio departing the room, Albus transferred the carbide lamp to his left hand. I wonder when he gets to meet the best hunter that has ever existed. Danitz. In the room behind them, the white fireball ignited one after another, setting each other ablaze and causing the ground to quiver. Delayed explosion. Despite the fact that these soldiers in the room were constructed of metal, they either lost their limbs or internal components. Some were even buried. To eliminate concealed threats, like how you handled those wax statues, Albus said. I thought you wouldn't dare, Lumin replied with a grin. Lumin discerned his intentions. He was now taken aback that Red Swan Castle's palace appeared to possess a form of self-defense mechanisms. No matter how potent the explosion or flames, their effects were confined to a single room. Indeed, such protective measures. Without it, this castle would have long crumbled. As the corridor's terminus stood a pair of hefty iron doors, the dark surface marred by large splotches of red. Elros took a deep breath and moved ahead of Lumina and Albus. She reached the door, put down the lamp, and pushed it. Amidst the grating sound, the door swung open. Lumin's eyelids twitched, a bronze coffin from his nightmare. At that moment, nearly a third of white candles surrounding the coffin had been snuffed out. In the flickering candles, the door creaked open. The three hunters stood. Finally, Albus said, "Why aren't you guys going in?" "Why'd you stop too?" Elros asked. "We're waiting for you to take the lead," Lumina replied with a grin. "Since you're all cowards, I'll have to do it myself," Albus said. With that, he dropped to one knee and placed his hands on the ground, and serpents slithered to the coffin. Lumin's eyes narrowed. He didn't anticipate he'd be so reckless. Assaulting the most problematic element with no investigation? Elros's expression froze as she attempted to halt Albert. Oh, this guy's a fucking idiot. Oh my god. Bro, we're killing him, right? We're killing him. Elros extended her palm and unleashed a fireball. Amidst the rumbling, it engulfed the serpents, halting their advance. "So do you know something?" He glanced at Elros and grinned. "You're in the dark here." Damn it, if this weren't the inappropriate setting, I'd go head to head with you. Only then did Lumin realize Albus's recklessness had been a trap. "This is the Red Swan Castle," Elros said. Not replying, but stating a simple fact, implying that she had the Sauron family lineage and had lived in this castle for nearly 6 years. Albus shifted his gaze to the candles. "What are you doing in the depths of this palace? If you don't share, how can we cooperate with you?" "I wish to explore this area, known as the family underground. Only a few of us are allowed to discover if the curses in our bloodline is connected to this place. You're an Einhorn. Do you genuinely consider yourself a family member?" Both a dig at Elros for concealing the complete truth and making her aware of her place. This made him suspect that the other party may already be a conspirer. His unlikable demeanor may be a trap. "I bear half of the Sauron family bloodline, and I'm also a hunter. I too shall be haunted by the curse." "What brings you to the depths of the palace? Don't tell me you're truly here to indulge in your naive cousin's games." "It is time for the curse to come to an end," Albus said. "Is that so? And we must first fathom the essence and the origin of this curse. Is that so?" Elros said. "I'd be a fool to take your word for it. Nevertheless, a true conspirer doesn't just tell lies, they reveal partial truths." What was the truth that Albus mentioned? Could it be that he genuinely wishes to help the family break the curse? Could it be a byproduct of him pursuing his true objective? Her abrupt changes in demeanor and her command over the spiders didn't seem like something a young girl living in her grandfather's home would be capable of. They both turned to Lumion. "Why did you venture here?" "Me? Someone entrusted me with investigating the family's decline." The someone referred to Martin. Albus smiled, acknowledging the lie while being aware of Lumion's identity. Elros's eyes flickered, assessing which part of Lumion's words were true and which were lies. "You hunters, despite all you've said, not a single one of you took a step forward," Lumion sighed. The three of them remained at the door. "Talking to you guys is fucking worthless," Albus sighed. "Nevertheless, you refrained from advancing as well. If only a Beyonder of the Sailor Pathway were here. Don't assume that they're impulsive, reckless, and idiots. The potions may have adverse effects, but a person's character and experience are the most critical factors," Elros mocked. "If we hadn't chosen the middle path, would we still be here?" "Yes, but some rooms are even more dangerous," Elros said. "Will we encounter demigod-level monsters?" Most of the demigod level characteristics have been retrieved. Many of the demigod level still linger in the underground palace. Or many below the underground demigod level still linger down here, turning this place into a restricted hunting ground for the members of the Sauron family needing to improve. Most have been retrieved, meaning a few still remain, This does align with Sauron family's current situation. There aren't many saint-level demigods, but it's a substantial number. Many core members are scattered in the military, politics, and business world, holding significant influence. But there are no angels, only grade 0 artifacts. Or is there one angel? Lumin glanced and realized that Alros and Albus remained patient. Truth be told, Lumin was tempted to observe the outcome of this, using their luck to gauge the dangers, venturing deeper. Not only was it risky, but it could also mislead him. At this moment, Lumin felt a surge of danger. Goddamn. I'm genuinely starting to get tired now. Chapter and a half. We're almost there. Come on. At the heart of the purple flames... Wait, hold on. He swiftly turned his gaze following the glow of the lamp, and Albus and Alros did the same. A hand with dark red, almost black vessels, extending from the darkness, pressing against the wall. In the coffin, surrounded by white candles, a hand extended, gripping the blackened heart from which blood oozed. Has the menacing creature from the coffin surfaced? Before Lumin could activate his spirit world traversal, a fear overwhelmed him. An instinct resisting and struggling, he and Alros stepped forward and entered the hall. Lumin witnessed the hall enveloped in surreal purple flames akin to an inferno. As the heart of the crimson flames, of the purple flames was the coffin, it had turned transparent, as if it had lost its physical form. The ring was embedded in the ground with viscous, bottomless blood-colored spring in its center. Bloodlines extended from the iron-black ring, some wound around the base of the coffin burrowed into it, while others connected to the candles. In that moment, Lumin's heard a frenzied, violent roar. His mind reeled, and he went unconscious. In the boundless darkness, Lumin heard a faint, majestic voice. Aurora's melodious song echoed in his ears. I am the elf of spring. Lumin could sense heat in his right palm. The intensity of the sensation was almost tangible. Pain! Lumin snapped out of his fugue and forced his eyes open. Before him, a crimson fireball blazed and found himself encased in a metal framework, his body held upright. At that moment, a man wearing a black robe, sporting a vivid red beard that made him look like a human-lion hybrid, stood before the metal frame. The artisan? Lumin activated the right mark on his shoulder and vanished from the metal frame. Lumin materialized at the entrance of the castle's underground labyrinth. He scanned the area and breathed a sigh of relief. He brushed the wax from his body and examined his belongings. To his astonishment, not only were his original items, coins, and banknotes still present, even the characteristic of the wax statue artisan and the shriveled heart remained. He didn't search me? He recalled scenes walking in silence through the darkness without his lamp. In those images, his countenance appeared lifeless and rigid, like a wax statue. He reached a room and nestled within a metal framework. That doesn't sound like me. He promptly returned to the first-floor living room and found Irida, sipping absinthe happily. "Oh, you're back too," Irida inquired. "Yes," Lumin replied, nearly having regained his composure. I got separated from the others." As he finished speaking, Albus made his appearance in the living room too. Oh, dude, I thought Albus was fucking dead. Dude, no, they didn't just try to mummify him. They tried to fucking just... They tried to just pour wax on him and just freeze him in there. What the fuck? I'm assuming the thing that he killed was like a aberration or like a creation of whatever was in the coffin, like a much weaker version of whatever was in the coffin. And then when he approached the true him, he was, as a higher ranking, probably like a demigod of the hunter pathway, he commanded them all as like, hey, like kneel to me or whatever, because obviously their pathway is capable of doing that, and every pathway is capable of one degree or another to, like the death pathway, for example, like what Azek did to that guy. I would assume their pathway is kind of similar, but Lumion, due to his having like 7 different souls in his fucking body or some shit, probably way more than 7, mind you, because doesn't he have like Aurora and like some of the people of Cordu in his soul or what? I don't even know how any of that shit works, but like that thing, but he got like some form of characteristic. Yeah, but if that guy is a demigod, then it's very possible that he has like a shit ton of characteristics, right? Like that thing that he had walking around could just be like a sequence 8, right? It would have its own characteristic. Because, I don't know. Albus was caught off guard when he spotted Lumion. That was quick. He has, oh yeah, exactly, right? He has also, like, Aurora woke him up because Aurora wasn't as affected by someone of that pathway because she's not from it. That was quick. You're not slow either, Lumina replied. From his point of view, breaking free from the ethereal underground roar and not returning into a wax statue indicated that Albus wasn't just an ordinary member. Perhaps the sinister corruption at the 13 Avenue de Marche was helping him withstand that terrifying roar. In that, Elros, who was from the family, seemed more likely to emerge. Albus flashed a smile and pulled up a chair, enjoyed some refreshments as though nothing had happened. About 4 or 5 minutes later, they shifted their attention to the living room. Elros returned too. She appeared surprised but not shocked, seeing the two of them already sitting here. Elros resumed her seat, becoming once again the reserved girl at her grandfather's home. Irita seemed oblivious to the unusual atmosphere, sipping his absinthe and chilling. 15 minutes later, Puffer, decked out in his scarlet velvet coat, returned with Honori and Mullen. He was taken aback when he laid eyes on Lumion. He never anticipated seeing Ciel again, or seeing Ciel in his present state. Shortly after, he swept his gaze at Albus, Elros, and Irita. Puffer, you're back! We had long given up on that adventure and decided not to delve any deeper. Albus said. How did it go? Did you find the crown? We didn't find it either. When did you guys get back? Oh, no more than a half hour ago, Albus said. Where's Ernest? Lumion spoke. He got separated. I hope he remembers to pull the bell rope and summon the servants to find him. True, true. The servants in this castle know this place better than I do, Puffer remarked. Lumion was eager to return and confirm his discoveries. He glanced at the wall clock hanging on the wall and said, I still have some matters to attend to, so I won't be able to attend the banquet tonight. Puffer's mind seemed preoccupied and didn't press Lumion to say. Lumion cast a grateful glance at the owner of the castle and shook his hand. Thank you for the fantastic afternoon. I hope we can play the game again. From the depths of his heart, Lumion wanted to express his gratitude. Not only had he provided him an opportunity to digest his potion, but it also unveiled his hunting grounds, making it easier for Lumion to locate suspected Beyonder creatures related to conspirers. How could he not be happy? Of course, Lumion genuinely desired to kill Puffer too. If not for his uniqueness, he probably would have become a statue. Lumion's sole reason for not... I would assume Elros is a sequence 6 and Albus is a 5, I would guess. Instinctively, he believed that even though Puffer appeared to be an ordinary person or a relatively weak Beyonder, if Lumion were to confront him, he may be the one facing danger. Puffer's expression soured as he heard the heartfelt gratitude. Lumion appeared oblivious to this and reiterated his desire to take part in another adventure game future. After departing and boarding his carriage, borrowed from Martin, Lumion's smile faded. At the conclusion of this palace adventure, he had gained a clear understanding of the disparity between his strength and that of the higher level entities. With a mere illusory roar, he lost his self-conscience and control. Only thanks to Mr. Fool's seal, Termi Boris, and the aura of Elisa Tudor did he manage to survive. I'm still too weak. Martin leisurely roamed through the armor and weapons on display, running his fingers over the metallic textures as Lumina recounted his encounter in the depths of the palace, describing the rooms with the statues, the artisan, the black spider, the soldiers, the coffin, the candles, and the roar. That was a really good mini arc. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that. However, Lumina omitted the details on how he had escorted Irida back to the underground palace, also leaving out the part about burning the statues and murdering the artisan. CO, didn't you promise to secretly prevent any mishaps? If I hadn't been awakened inexplicably, I would have died. Did you use Albus to keep an eye on me? I was watching from the shadows. His smile widened. I witnessed you escorting the poet back. I saw you set fire to the statues and detonate the artisan. What? Albus is already back? How the fuck? How does he already know? Could he truly be telling me in secrets? I didn't notice it at all. Albus hasn't returned yet, Martin chuckled. It wasn't Albus? How did he know? Lumin's usual tendency to underestimate Martin vanished, replaced by a sense that the head of the mob possessed more power than he had originally believed. Previously, Madam Magician and Mr. K had displayed abilities that Lumin found beyond imagination. Therefore, when facing Martin, who appeared to be the weakest of the three superiors, Lumin had always considered him less formidable. Dude, I love how he went from, when we started this, he went from, you know, like, I could probably kill Martin, like, it would probably be a bit, but like, I could probably do it, to like, holy piss, this guy's been watching me for a whole day and I didn't even know. What the fuck? From the looks of it, Lumina wasn't now as confident as he was before. Considering Martin may have revealed this information to unnerve him, Lumina didn't attempt to conceal his changing expression and body language. Do you really think you woke up for no reason? Whoa, you're saying you helped? Aurora's humming, the conversation, the burning in my palm? I would have believed you. In essence, the corruption at 13th Avenue de Marche could have helped me as well, but the boss had intentionally left it ambiguous. He wants me to believe that he played a role. This hunter didn't lie, but he didn't disclose the whole truth either. Thank you, CO, Lumin said. We have gained something from this operation. At the very least, we know that there are terrifying items sealed in the castle below. Do you want to exchange them for the rewards or save them for a more valuable one, such as a higher sequence potion? Lumin had accumulated a sum of 20,000 Wordle over the past month through Martin's funds, his salary from Sol de Ball Unique, and his earnings from acting. Money wasn't of immediate concern. Let's save them up for now, he said. Boss, can I use these to concoct the Conspirer potion? He said, presenting the characteristics of the artisan and the other statues. When combined, they can be used to concoct the potion, but they will have an additional hunter, provoker, and pyromaniac characteristic compared to the ordinary. You will need to be very confident before using this. This heart still retains traces of the Sauron family bloodline, which may affect your advancement to a degree. If not confident, I can provide you with a potion in exchange for these ingredients and make up the difference. Consider it a partial reward. In essence, the ordinary hunting black spider and sphinxes only possess the characteristic of the conspirer. These, the wax statue artisan and the black spider were like two halves of a conspirer, when combined, making a complete 6 through 9 through 6. Sounds like it'll make me even stronger. I'd like to take the risk. Martin didn't push further and allowed Lumina to leave. Upon returning to the motel, Lumina took his place and began writing a letter to Madam Magician. Well, boys, dare I say that timing was pretty fucking phenomenal. What was that? 3 hours? 3 hours of 2.5 hours of reading. And 18 chapters? That's pretty fucking good, dare I say myself. Alright, guys. I'm gonna end. Sorry, I'm not gonna do long-winded because I'm getting really tired now, so I need to stop talking. Alright, thank you, everyone. Y'all have a good rest of your day or night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow night, okay? Bye, guys.